You ever wonder what makes a great gamer? Great gaming is not only about cheering on our teammates, but also being there to pick us up when we're down.
Guardian down!
Have you ever played Destiny with a fellow Guardian and thought to yourself, I wonder what their life is like? Questions like these spark conversation, friendship, and community. We're a Destiny 2 podcast that focuses on three things: community, news around the gaming industry and Destiny 2, and thought-provoking topics in the game. We're Guardian Downcast. Your stories, your community, your destiny. Hey, what's up, Guardian? Welcome to episode 241 of Guardian Downcast, a Destiny podcast. I'm your host, Todd the Gator, and I'm a Day One Guardian who loves gaming and definitely the Destiny franchise. And we talk about it. In this episode, we ask, aren't Warlocks due this year in Guardian games? I mean, I think so. It's time to band together, Warlocks. Let's do it. Well, today, I have another brand new guest of the show. He's a newer member of the community, and some have messaged me and said, you know, this guy, you need to talk to this guy. So here we are. I have a game with him in Destiny 2 as well, and I can't wait to hear more about him and his Destiny journey today. So please welcome MrBrightside. How you doing, sir?
How's it going? I'm doing all right.
Very good. Well, in today's show, we're going to hear more about MrBrightside. We're going to put him through the fastest interview in 2 minutes via our fast fire question and answer segment we call the Speed Run. We'll be discussing the latest TWAB blog post from Bungie. I'm going to recite another favorite ghost story lore entry from the latest Grimoire Anthology, Volume 6. As always, we'll answer questions from our community, and then we're going to add some music to our Guardian Downcast show playlist on Apple Music and Spotify. The links will be in our description down below if you want to follow along. Finally, Laz might be calling in again, and we'll also see what our uncle from across the pond is up to this week as well, with another Scumdesk Corner. So without further ado, let's roll. Hey, thanks for listening to Guardian Downcast. There are several ways you can contact us. First, you can find us on X at Guardian_D_cast, where we also post our newly released episodes every week. Or you can find us on Instagram at Guardian_Down_cast and see what pics our podcast guests want to share with you guys. We have a brand new website. Just visit GuardianDownCast.com, where you'll find all of our contact info, leave us a voicemail, give our show a rating and review, search for any episodes, or even give back to our community. Also, don't forget to sign up for future updates to the show, where we'll also have some random drawings throughout the year, and you may win a gift card or even some GDC merch. You can also follow our Guardian Downcast shows song playlist on Spotify and Apple Music. We post those links in our show description every week, so you can follow along with us. And finally, you can send us an email at guardiandowncast@gmail.com. So check us out, and later, Guardian. Well, MrBrightside, thank you for coming on the show tonight, man. I really don't know a whole lot about you, so I'm looking forward to this interview, sir.
Oh, that's going to be a thing you're going to regret right there.
Well, it's okay. That's what post-editing's for, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, sir, where are you from, and what do you do for work?
Right now, I'm a retail manager, and I live in New Jersey.
New Jersey. What's the average day in New Jersey like up there?
Right now?
Well, I mean, what's your average day?
My average day? Listen,
I'm trying to get a feeling for what New Jersey's like this time of year.
Well, listen, right now it's pretty quiet because nobody from New York is down here shitting on the place.
Okay.
I live on, here's the thing. I live on the Jersey Shore.
Okay.
So it's a huge tourist thing in the summer. And everyone just comes down and complains like, oh, Jersey beaches are so dirty. They're so dirty. I don't like them. And I'm like, okay, maybe if we weren't downriver from your garbage and then you bring more with you, the place wouldn't be dirty.
And now it's time for you to go back to New York.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, people started flying flags. The yellow state color flag with the picture of the state that says, "We don't like you either."
I tell people Florida's closed. Sorry, I'm sorry, Florida's closed. Beach is closed.
Yeah, no. Well, there's a whole lawsuit going on up here about a closed beach.
Really?
Oh shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's a historic town that closes its beach on Sundays because it was founded as like a religious commune, and that's against state law. So they're like having this whole big thing about it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because they impede beach access, and you're not allowed to do that.
Jeez. Yeah, drama.
I swear it's a whole
drama.
thing.
I'm telling you. So make
It's a whole thing in the state, man.
Well,
no, but I mean,
yeah.
Day starts with pork roll, egg, and cheese every day.
I'm sorry.
Pork roll, not Taylor.
Excuse me? Pork? What'd you say again?
Pork roll?
Oh, a pork roll. Okay.
Are we not familiar with pork roll?
I am not. I'm not familiar with it. You have that for breakfast? Seriously?
Oh, you have not lived, sir.
Oh,
You
pork
have not
roll with
lived.
cheese. See.
Pork roll, egg, and cheese. All right, so you might see it as Taylor ham if you're a dirty heathen.
Okay.
But it is just... It's like a hot dog. You don't ask questions about what type of meat it is.
I fully understand that part. Yeah.
You just slice that shit thin, about maybe quarter of an inch, eighth of an inch.
Okay.
Put one slit in the side, throw that shit on a frying pan, let it go, put it on a bagel with an egg and cheese, and you are good for the rest of the day.
Ooh, that sounds good, actually.
It is quite possibly the second closest thing you'll get to seeing God before you die.
Okay. I'm about to try this.
All right.
It
is.
Now, no toppings or just naked?
You can salt, pepper, ketchup is okay, preferred.
Okay.
But take your egg however you want.
Okay.
Generally fried.
Fried egg, yeah. That's the only way to do it on a sandwich.
No, this is like a state sandwich.
Really? I'm learning something today. I did not know that, man.
Listen, if you want to talk sandwiches, we were talking the other night, weren't we?
I think we were.
The fat sandwich up in Rutgers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anybody who doesn't know, you take a sub roll, you cut it open, proceed to shove mozzarella sticks, chicken fingers, fries, marinara sauce, and then more cheese on top of it, and give it to a drunk college student at 4 a.m.
Oh my god.
I swear to God, those things. I could probably get a class action lawsuit going for my fatty liver.
My liver is probably all fatty too, so I'm with you there. It's just a different form of food that hurts mine. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was.
All right.
Listen,
good. I learned
pork
something.
roll. I swear, no, it is far and away one of the. It is the king among breakfast meats.
I have to try this now.
If we're going to talk pork roll,
okay,
yeah.
Fair enough. I'm going to try it. I'll try it. Hey, I mean, if I tried Elmer Fudd told me there was something called a toasted cheese with strawberry jelly on top.
That's
that's
what
I said.
Actually does that. No human actually does that.
Dude, I did it. I tried it. It was good. I actually took a picture of it. I gotta admit, man, it was a good combination. Don't ask me how. It just was.
This sounds like butter on a Pop-Tart.
You don't put butter on your Pop-Tart? Oh, okay. No. Let's move on. Yeah. I mean, you do dip your bagel with a little bit of cream of wheat or oatmeal, right? You do that, right?
Bagels get cream cheese, sometimes butter, but if it's getting cream cheese, your options are also chives or lox. That's it.
Yeah, but see, I put butter and cream cheese on mine already. But then what I do is before I eat it, I'll put just a little spoon swipe, just a little bit of some oatmeal, usually oatmeal. I have cream of wheat on the weekends.
Not the worst thing I've heard.
It's not, I'm telling you, it is not bad. It's not bad.
People look at me, people from out of the tri-state area look at me crazy when when I get excited when I see a bagel with lox outside the tri-state area, and they don't, it's like, do people not do this? Is this not a thing?
That's funny. All right. Well, sir, when did you get into video games? What was the earliest moment you can think back to?
Actually, earliest I can go back is I was probably about 3 years old. Because it was the NES hooked up to the TV in the living room, and my parents let me run around the first dungeon in the original Legend of Zelda.
Oh, I understand your Zelda fascination now.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it goes deep.
Okay,
that goes deep.
I played Zelda too on the NES, and wasn't there a better Zelda on the Super NES? I think there was. There
were two on the NES. There was Legend of Zelda,
right,
and then there was Zelda 2: Adventure of Link, which was a top-down scroller and the overworld only. All combat was side-scrolling.
Oh,
so all the dungeons were laid out like Metroid, kind of.
Wow. Okay.
So it was a really weird. Like you either loved it or you hated it. Then there was Link to the Past on Super Nintendo, which was like a return to form of the original game. And then they did Link's Awakening on the Game Boy, which we all just found out was influenced by Twin Peaks, of all things.
Oh, my God.
I'm not even kidding. Like, the director was like, he was like, I watched a lot of Twin Peaks when making that game, man. And I was like, David Blinn?
There is a documentary I saw for the second time on Netflix called High Score. Have you seen that yet?
I have not seen High Score.
You need to see it. It's all about the Nintendo Revolution. It's all about even the Atari days. Oh, it starts from the very beginning.
When there was a book that I read a couple times, The History of Nintendo, Game Over. Oh. Now I had, if I found my copy, I'd be impressed, but
I'm going to look it up right now just in case.
It was the history of Nintendo from its founding to the N64 releasing. And I don't know if you know how much time that is.
Dude, these games, I remember playing these games for months sometimes. Depending on the game. I mean, I'm trying to look at here. Make sure I got the name right so people don't look it up. They aren't going, I'm sorry, Gator, I'm not seeing a high score.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix. It's a 4-part, and they go chronologically from the beginning all the way up into. They don't go to today's games, but they go pretty close. They talk about the PC revolution when PC games became popular and the TRS-80. Do you remember the TRS-80?
I did not have a TRS-80.
I didn't have one because they were way too expensive, but I actually took a course in in middle school on the TRS-80. Yeah.
I did. Now I was real lucky because my school had a very, very forward-thinking computer teacher, and like rather than like try to teach us like anything to do with a GUI, she made a class of 6-year-olds sit down and write BASIC.
What?
It was great.
I remember trying to learn how to do BASIC. Oh my God.
Are you kidding me? It was great. I was like, okay. So but like that laid a fundamental core of like problem solving.
Absolutely, man.
You know, they don't do that shit anymore.
Wow. That's awesome. Well, watch it. I mean, you talk about it. There's a big part on Nintendo about it. I think you'd like.
Oh yeah.
But and I think there's some link to the.
Did they get into the 70s?
They got into the very late 70s, and that's where I started gaming, was in the late 70s, 78, I think. But that's funny. I'll be talking about something else that happened in the 80s tonight.
Right.
But how did you find this game, Destiny, man? Are you a Destiny 1 OG, or did you come in Destiny 2?
Only technically am I an OG. All right.
Okay.
Now, I go back to the hype. Now, I don't know how many of you guys know this, but what is the first appearance of the Traveler in a Bungie video game? Because it's not Destiny 1.
The appearance of the Traveler? I mean, the original cutscene shows the Traveler when the astronauts are walking on the Mars.
There is a poster inside of either Halo 3 ODST or Halo 3 that has a picture of the Traveler and it says Destiny awaits.
That's right.
So I go back that far. Like, I found that, and I was like, yo, like, this is going to be sick. And then, like, I kept up with the hype for Destiny 1.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get it because I was broke as hell at the time.
I hear you.
But what I did was I rented the thing from Redbox for about a month.
You keep looping it, coming back and
I just kept
renting it.
looping the thing, man. Nobody else was playing it.
I love it, man.
So I just kept going back. I still have like, if I go into Dim, I have to choose which account I want, Destiny 1 or 2.
Right. That's good.
But like, yeah, I go back.
Did you finish the original campaign of Destiny 1?
No, honestly, honest to God, the first time I played, the first month I played of Destiny was just me running around. I still have such trash gear.
Yeah. It
was just me running around having fun with it, just
the early days.
Blasting,
we'll never get that feeling back. I know we keep striving for that feeling every day, but
it's
such a cool feeling playing the very first Destiny game.
And I think that's part of the overall issue with the state of the game now is because they're trying to be everything to everyone at a live service pace, and it's not gonna happen.
I'm not sure if you saw the Grenader Jake video that's been going around, and people have been doing.
No, I didn't see that.
And actually, Fallout did a reaction to that, and then Astacross did a reaction to it, and then Grenader Jake came back with a Brady Bunch setup where they were actually talking all on the same screen, where he had looped over the videos on top of each other. And I'm like, I thought it was actually pretty creative, but yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that he said is we're never going to get that feeling back of the original time we played Destiny. No matter what Bungie does, we're never going to have that feeling again. That day one feeling of playing Destiny. And a lot of people are up in arms about that. And he also said that he thinks that, this is Grenader Jake, thinks that the final shape will be the last major DLC that Bungie releases for Destiny 2.
It might be. I would have to agree with that assessment because it's clear to me, at least, that Bungie made a deal with the devil in buying out and selling out to Sony because if you remember, they sold out for a record price.
Yeah. And
what happened after Lightfall didn't perform to expected numbers that were set down by Sony.
It sold very well. Actually broke records, but I think they inflated their number. This is all speculation, but I still think they inflated their numbers to get a better price for the company. Or maybe made promises that they couldn't keep. Who knows for sure? Only the upper management really knows, but
yeah, I know. But my gut instinct on it is that Sony is not because the edict did come down that if Final Shape does not perform, they are being absorbed into Sony Studios and distributed.
That's what I've heard. And the president was just there for Sony America Entertainment, and not Ryan, but I think it was one of the. I think it was one of the company men, and he says he was not happy with how the studio was being run. It said it was not being run very efficiently money-wise. So, I don't know. I mean,
Bungie has never been efficient money-wise.
No, they've always been the renegades, though. You remember the early days of Bungie? They were hippies and loose and not hippies, but they were the rebels. They were the renegades in game development. And that's why the studio is so freewheeling, But
they were the psychos that said hey, let's put a plot in Doom, and then made Marathon. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
It's. I mean,
and they released concepts into that game that echo into Destiny to this day. Still,
I'll still
not even counting the 30th anniversary.
Of course. I will still stand by this. I am very excited to see what Bungie has next. And I know amongst all the doom and gloom right now, I don't think Sony's stupid. I think they must have seen what Bungie is going to plan for the future. And that might have been the decision to go forward and buy and acquire them. But I don't know. I'm speculating, but I'm a fanboy. I'm definitely biased in my opinion here. Everyone knows that. Too. But I really want Bungie to do well. And even if Destiny 2 ends right after 2024 and into 2025, and even if it went away, I'd still be looking forward to what's coming next. And I know Marathon's around the corner, but there's no way they're going to bank the entire studio on one multiplayer game. It's not going to happen, man.
Listen, Arrowhead raised the stakes with Helldivers too.
God, yeah, I've seen footage. It looks fun as hell. It does.
It's such a good time.
It is. I mean, I see people playing and I'm like, yeah, I can really get into that game. I know I could, but I just don't have the time, man. I just don't have the time to play another game.
I know. I've been at it all week.
I've got Baldur's Gate. I still bought Baldur's Gate 3 and I still have yet to start that game. I dove into Starfield on PC and I was pretty enveloped in that game as well. And I don't care what people say about the story or whatever. I was having fun. It just was such a deep. People laugh when I say that. But for me, because I don't usually play this type of game, I started as a homesteader when I set my account up. I ended up being some killer I was a hitman for an underground crime ring by the end of it. I was like, what the hell? How did I get here? So I don't know. I love playing video games, but I'm a one game guy, man. Once I grab a game, I stick to it and I grind it.
Yeah, I kind of get that way too. But I flip between them, but Destiny has been like a constant.
Yeah.
Since I got back into Destiny 2 when it went free to play.
Okay.
At Shadowkeep. And I've been tooling around this game solo for years. And I am, I've developed a play style that is just reminiscent of Halo 3's run and gun. So
I can just see it now. We're going to be all over the place tonight, and I love it.
Oh yeah,
I love it. Okay.
Throw structure out the window.
I don't care. It's my show. I can do what I want. Well, you know what? I think this would be a good time to transition and get a question from our community. So I'm going to dive into the Discord here. And you had some questions people asked of you, so I'm going to dive in here. And first one is from Soccer. Question for Side of Bright. What is your favorite song by The Killers? This is what I thought of too when I heard your name, because it's one of my favorite songs. It
is a good song. There's a whole story that goes with it.
Oh.
And it's a weird story.
You know what? Save it, because I'm going to ask you about your gamertag later. Let's table that. Let's table that.
Yeah, there's a whole story with it, but I would have to say When You Were Young off Sam's Town.
Oh, okay. That's a good song. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that group.
That was the album that they went a little more Springsteen.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I don't know. I thought that was a good album. Their debut was Hot Fuss not their debut, but Hot Fuss was really good. But
Sit Daddy Fresh, he keeps bringing up these Monty Python bits. He had a question for you.
Okay.
Saying, question for Brightside. Is your mother a hamster? And if so, did your father smell of elderberries? Monty Python in parentheses. I'm a Monty Python fan.
I was on to a second time.
Say that again?
Go away or I'll taunt you a second time.
Okay. I get the reference now. Okay. All right.
Of course I know that one.
Man, I must need to brush up on my Monty Python. It's been a while since I've watched anything from that.
I memorized that. I memorized that as a kid. It's just sad that most of them turned out, though John Cleese turned out the way he did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never want to be that angry and old.
People change. Times change. Yeah, I don't know. I think, that's another subject.
Yeah.
How did you find our community, by the way?
It was at a job I would prefer not to remember, and I was doing a lot of network stuff, so a lot of crawling under places with cables.
Okay.
And you have a lot of time. I was just going through, and I found you guys on Spotify, and I was like, you know what, let's give this a shot. And then I was like, all right, let's check out the Discord. And I've been chilling here for a little while.
Nice.
It's comfortable.
It's a friendly place. It's a pretty friendly place. There's no hate in our Discord.
No,
if there is, it doesn't last long.
Great.
Yeah.
Listen, it is an oasis in a game that is notorious for its sweats and negativity.
Oh man, let me tell you. Yeah, I hear you. Is there a favorite memory of Destiny that brings a smile to your face?
Um,
I know you said you did a lot of stuff solo. I did too originally, by the way.
yeah. No, there's been a couple. The one from our match with the Daybreak that we were talking about the other day was a pretty good one. I wish I had captured that. So, all right, I'm just gonna recap for people.
Okay.
We played in a PvP league, and I went up against this team, and at the beginning of a round, it's elimination.
Right.
We see that him and Briggs dump both their supers. Our team goes, "Oh, are we not allowed to use them? Did they just dump them so they didn't hit them by accident?"
Like, you were playing against us.
I was like, what happened? All right. I get into a 2-on-1 right in Javelin 4 on the. I was Daybreak up by the Warsat and looking down the hallway to the back of A.
Okay.
And I had both of you dead to rights, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Everybody froze. Briggs runs away. You just looked at me, and I went, "Sorry, buddy." Bonk.
Yeah, that moment. That moment. Yep.
Funny. That would be my most recent, but I mean, there's been a few.
Okay. How did you enjoy PvP League this year? I think it was you, Laz, and Crow?
And Crow. Yeah, Crow. Yeah.
How did you have fun playing this year? This season?
I had a blast. I'm sure the people that played me had a lot of fun too. Because we lost every single match.
We played you the first week.
Oh, yeah. We saw that pull, and I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Oh, there was a lot worse than us, trust me.
We got stomped,
too. We got stomped many times.
I forget who it was, but they were, 10-10 rolls around, and there's only 5 of us in the fire team, and I was like, "Oh, where's your third?" And they go, "He's not coming. We're just gonna run it 2v3."
I heard about this,
and I go, "Are you sure?"
Oh,
and
they
just go, "We'll be fine."
They'll
certified
be fine.
Killers of both of them.
They both are. Who are you playing, by the way? Do you remember who it was?
No.
Okay.
Hang on, let me look. I'll find out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's like,
we had a couple teams that just had our number, man.
Oh yeah.
You're just you just have those games where you just can't do anything. You try everything you can and it just isn't working.
League? They deleted it already.
There's some really he's got season 2 pulled up now. There's some really great players out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good deal.
There are.
Yeah.
But I have so much fun. That's the thing. I have so much fun even when I play, even when I lose.
That's good.
Because I'm not out here to get angry about the score. I'm here to get angry about my performance.
Right.
So I get more. I can lose terribly on the scoreboard, but if I hit my shots, I will say that was a good game.
Yeah. Yeah. I expect so much of myself when I play Crucible. I can't help it. It's like a switch in my head, man.
I do too, but I'm still thinking I'm 17 playing Halo 3.
I know, me too. Hey, and I've got some years on you, and I still think that. Yeah, I know, man.
I don't have that reaction time anymore.
I know my reaction time, especially up close, especially against a mouse and keyboard player. I cannot whip around, and I know they fixed the dead zones. That's one of the things they're changing with the drop next week is the dead zones in controller, and I might try it. But I'm so afraid it'll mess up my muscle memory on my shots. And being shots are going to be so much more important this next week with this new way they're playing Crucible. I just am afraid to try it. But I might try it on maybe an alt account and just toy with it and play around with it and see. But well, good deal, man. Good deal. What do you main? Titan Hunter or Warlock?
Warlock all day.
Oh, hell yeah, man. I was wondering why you didn't interrupt me I was expecting a rebuttal of my plea for Warlocks to band together at the beginning intro.
No. It would probably take me a good 3 weeks to get my Titan and my Hunter up to where my Warlock is. I have not touched them in expansions at this point. I genuinely don't think I've logged in with that Hunter since Beyond Light.
You should play all 3. This is a good time.
I know
to do
I
it
should.
too. Yeah, there's so much to learn about. The other characters are just so different. It's a lot of fun to know how to play all three.
I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I've got Warlock down.
Right.
Let's go. Now I'm thinking my next run's going to be my Titan.
I play my Hunter in Crucible, and I feel like I'm at such a better advantage than my Warlock. Even though my Warlock can blink, I definitely. But when you can dodge and leave, anytime you have a shotgunner running at you, you can just dodge and leave a little
I think
decoy.
I think you got me with that in the league.
No, I never played, I played strictly, my Warlock during the PvP league. So.
Yeah.
That might have been, Briggs and Warcry, Briggs plays a Titan through and through, and Warcry definitely is like me. He's copied a lot of my play style. He won't admit it, but he has. He's been blinking all over the place. I'm like, what are you blinking now?
Yeah.
Of course I'm blinking right now. His deep voice.
But, yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
he's on my team this season.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, it's on Mondays. I have bowling on Monday night, so I couldn't participate this. I honestly, I think I needed to take a break from anything competitive or even half competitive, because I've just been the meanest, not meanest, but I've just been the most saltiest gamer, and I don't like that about myself. It's not a good quality I enjoy. So I think for my own benefit, I needed to take a break from it this season, because it was really getting to me. I don't know why, but yeah.
I like I said, I don't get mad.
I love that attitude, stuff. Man. I do.
I just go out and I'm like, listen, I just go out with blinders on, and that's and that does put you at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Because I'm not too concerned with what the other, unless there's like a coherent plot forming that I can see.
Right.
I'm not going to stick on some rando. I'm going to do my thing.
Yep.
And with that, I'm just going to be focused on how I play and how I'm doing. I'm not out there to run up any score on top. I don't need a green bar. I just want to go out.
All you control is your player. You can't control any the other part of the game. Yeah. All you can do is do your best. Yeah.
And some nights I'm on, some nights I'm not. I play mostly at night, and that's to my disadvantage because
that's when it's busy.
Oh, it gets sweaty.
Yep. Yeah, that's when a lot of people jump on at night because they worked all day and they're trying to blow off steam. And a lot of better players do play at night versus the daytime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, important question. Do you do bounties?
Yeah, I do. I take bounties in.
Okay, fair enough.
Take bounties.
I thought for a minute that was a weak answer, but you went the right direction on it. Okay.
No, I take. It's part of when I log in. First thing I still do is go to Shaq's, get the 250s, and if I hit them, I hit them.
Right. Yeah. You won't. I tell you what, you won't hit them if you never pick them up though. And my God, we got tons of glimmer now. There's really no excuse. 200. Yeah.
I've never understood people who are short on glimmer, because I'm always short on cores and prisms, and I think I get the only ascended shards I've ever gotten.
Yeah. People who are out of glimmer. People who are out of glimmer are usually people who are focusing engrams to get weapon rolls, because it's like 25 to 50 grand a pop every time you. Yeah, that's what sucks away your glimmer. But hey, we can get 500. We can get 500,000 of it now. So, and I have a ton of videos out there on how to farm it. So there's really no excuse not to have a bunch of glimmer. But
I don't get it either.
Yeah. If you were to go to your vault right now, what is one weapon in your vault that, not including just talking about legendary gear, what is one weapon in your vault that you will refuse to delete, and why?
Oh, there's so many, and that's the problem.
You can only pick one. I know, I have many too. For me, is the inaugural address from the original
one. I'm going to go with my original Gnawing Hunger. I'm not going to delete that.
Oh, good pick, because you can't get. Well, it shows up every now and then, but it's hard to get the roll. What roll do you have on it? Do you have like a subsistence roll on it?
No, I do have a subsistence one now, but the original one, the first one I masterworked, was it was a garbage roll too. It was something like multi-kill clip and what was the other one? A Zen Moment, I think it was.
That's a good one. I've got
It's a good perk, yeah. Multi-kill clip, less.
It's all right. It's just a baby. It's baby kill clip.
Yeah.
I have 3 rolls. I have one with Rampage auto loading. I have one with Demolitionist and auto loading holster. And Demolitionist is harder to get now in rifles. It's not as prevalent as it used to be. And then finally, I have one with Demolitionist and tap the trigger. I mean, they're void, man. It's hard to get a good void auto rifle. That
it is.
That fires at that rate. That
it is. It's a solid gun. It is. The one that now. There are guns in my inventory that I will absolutely never delete, like my Chroma Rush. Yeah. That just doesn't go in the vault.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a good rifle.
Oh.
I've got a couple of those too. I just refuse to get rid of. Let me see what Chroma Rush rolls I got. I'll let you look and see what you got. I'll see what I got.
Oh, I know what I got off the top of my head.
Okay, go ahead.
No, it's a, now you made me lose it.
Sorry.
Now I got to go to dim. Now I got to go to dim.
There it is. I'm looking at dim right now. I always have dim open. I have to when I'm talking Destiny. Chroma Rush. Oh, please tell me I didn't. I know it's getting harder and harder to not delete stuff. Oh, I've got a couple of them. I've
got stuff going back here. Yeah, so here's the.
Okay.
Yeah, I was logging into dim and I almost selected Destiny 1 by accident. There we go. Where's Chroma? Heating up, kill clip, flared magwell, small bore.
Ooh, okay.
It shoots lasers. I am not kidding. It is just a straight stream. You put a counterbalance on that thing, and it just it's 100% just dead on, like just 100 down this center, nice. And there's almost no muzzle climb, just 10 out of 10 gun.
I've only got one left, and it's not the greatest roll. It's Dynamic Sway and Rampage. It's okay. It's okay. I don't, there's a lot of these rifles I just don't use anymore because you have like a flavor every season of what you want to use depending on the sandbox, but
yeah,
it's hard to get rid of weapons, man. That's what this game's about, is loot, right? You want to collect it. I remember when I played Borderlands, I had always had the hardest problem keeping weapons in my vault without them overflowing. Just nice to have variety and something. Hey, you know what? Let's play with the Chroma Rush tonight. Let's pull it out of the vault and let's go play it,
Exactly.
So.
Hang on. I got my gnawing hunger is the Rampage Zen moment.
Oh, that's a good one. Rampage is harder to get on weapons now as well. It's not as prevalent on new weapons as it used to be.
Here's the first one that I'm never getting rid of. The multi-kill clip auto-loading holster.
Yes, that's good. Especially in PvE. Because usually a lot of red bars.
That was a great red bar clear.
Mm-hmm. And you just swap weapons and before you know it, it's reloaded and ready to go. Yeah. Yeah, auto-loading holster is a very much an underrated perk on especially PvE weapons. It's so good to have. I got that
Riptide with the auto load and the chill clip.
Yep.
And that is
I've got so many.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I've got one with auto loading chill clip as well. And I save that mainly for when I use I got 2 of them. So no wonder I have a problem. Oh. Okay, I got one with chill clip and steady hands. Okay, I might need to go through my vault at some point. I've got a lot of duplicate stuff. I didn't think
a lot. I'm going to send you a screenshot of my vault.
Oh, I'm at 582 of 600, and I did some cleaning recently too. I mean, there's some weapons in here like I have the old Pillager from the original Gambit with Rampage tap the trigger. It is the smoothest submachine gun I've ever fired. And it has sights, which a lot of them don't have different sights now. This one has a really beautiful sight on it. And has arrowhead break. So I mean, there's so many great weapons in this. I mean, let's face it. It's why we play Destiny is the weapons. They're just so badass. Yeah. Well, let's take a break real quick here, Mr. Brightside, and just check and see what we've been doing this week before we go into the further parts of the interview. What have you been doing in gaming or around the community, or what have you been up to this week, man?
Well, I've been playing, like apparently everybody else, I've been playing Helldivers 2, and that has been a blast, let me tell you. Things. Oh my god. No, it's, I love watching this community form in real time just because of how everybody, like, the game is just so over the top that we've all just embraced the fake propaganda, and everybody is literally working for it's not a PvE game. It's a player versus developer game at this point.
That's what I hear. And I heard it's something about fighting democracy or standing for democracy.
The idea behind the game is that you're from Super Earth and you're out to spread managed democracy to the galaxy.
Okay.
And that includes shooting a whole lot of bugs and a whole lot of robots.
I heard the robots are tough too.
No, you have no idea. Because here's what happens is that the game has a dungeon master that he can actually on the fly ramp up the difficulty.
What a great idea.
On like the they admitted already that this man named Joel has gotten up in the middle of the night to screw with us.
No way.
Yeah.
This reminds me of another game that had, like people fighting in real time to conquer territories. I can't remember the name of it.
PlanetSide.
Yes, that was it. It was the coolest thing, man. I mean, the graphics weren't the best, but it was a big game.
This is different because there's no PvE. There's no PvP element whatsoever.
Okay, it's all PvE. Okay.
So we're all bought in right now, right?
Right.
So they keep dropping these new orders, and we're getting it. You know, they keep the orders. In my opinion, and this is going to be controversial with these guys, is they keep giving us orders to push on the bug front, but we're getting hit on the bot front a lot harder. So we gotta split the forces, and I think we're doing a good job right now, but we gotta split them up. But like, that's the thing is that like you're having these high level discussions on the forums, on Reddit posts, in like the TikTok comments threads.
Wow.
And everyone's like, listen, we need to reinforce this planet.
Through social media, you guys are talking.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So cool.
But like, it's just, and I mean, on the Discord, like you go into the Discord, you can actually watch in real time as people are like, gathering, like running numbers and saying like, well, if we have this many Helldivers on, this planet, we're going to be likely to hold it within the 4-hour time window and be able to, contribute to the overall push of the score. And everybody's bought into this idea and everybody's going crazy for it. And it all stems back to one man named Joel pushing buttons and making Malevelon Creek the absolute last, just one of the most intense moments in gaming I've ever had. Because Malevelon Creek he actively made that harder because everyone started talking about it. And he just was like, he decided that, he was going to give us our own robot Vietnam. Jeez. And he did. And it was amazing.
I hope people are watching how this live service is. This is the way to do live service games.
Oh, it is so much fun because I'm not like there's already videos out there and there's a lot of posts where people are like actively kicking sweaty players. And they're turning around. Like there was one guy who was like, has anybody run this campaign? Has anybody, like give me some intel. Anything would be helpful. And, everyone just kind of goes, I don't know. You just wing it because there's zero planning. Like with Destiny, you can make a script with a raid and, do it very precisely. Things do not, like there is an element of uncertainty in Helldivers, and that was a lot of fun.
See, I mean, Bungie did that at one point. They had the live events happening like in real world time, I miss that stuff.
Yeah. I wish they would do more with that. I wish they would, I don't know. I feel like Bungie pulled back from the community so much, especially in recent years, because we used to have devs on, HBO, halo.bungie.org.
Right.
Like the devs would come on and bullshit with us. Like that was back in the day. Now, not so much because of what's happened.
Well, there's a lot of weird shit, man, with the community. And I think, what happened with DMG and others out there that were freaking threatened, man. I mean, you can't do that shit. I mean, come on, man. It's a video game. No. And I think they said, yep, that's it. Party's over. Yep. Yeah.
And like, honestly, though, that's what, and everyone's looking for what ruined Destiny. And I'm going to go ahead and point to that. If we're going to say that it's ruined.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say it was that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've heard good things, man. I've heard a lot of good things. And like I said, it's one of those games where I'm so afraid I'll just get sucked in. And then, I run a Destiny community and a podcast, and I have to be careful, man. Cause I can be games can be very addictive. Yeah, exactly. I hope Bungie's watching though. I really do. I hope a lot of devs are watching how they're doing this and how it creates such great community involvement. And, Bungie used to have the big puzzles everyone would solve through the week, I miss that stuff.
Bring that back.
Yes.
Bungie, please bring the group assignments back.
Yes.
We need to work together.
Yep. I agree.
We need something just, even if you just rip off Helldivers, you're like, hey, take a bounty. You go kill 50, kill 50 fallen in the EDZ. Mm-hmm. Hooray. You contributed 0.01% to the overall victory total.
That's phase 1. Phase 2 is tomorrow. We need to do this,
Yeah. Just keep it rolling.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing over at Helldivers, and it's working out pretty well.
Well, we don't know what they have up their sleeve.
I don't know either.
Joe even mentioned it in a blog, and I was like, well, Joe, you never mentioned what was up your sleeve. I guess that's the point, right? But, we'll have to see, I guess. Anything else you've been doing this week you want to mention?
I just work, between work and the kids.
I hear you, man. That's enough in itself.
Oh,
yeah. Well,
crazy, man.
It's actually been a light week of playing for me. I'm usually playing. I just play Destiny, but I've been releasing some episodes for our Patreon community. I've put a lot of video episodes out of our if people can remember a few shows ago, we did a roundtable episode. Well, I recorded the video for all of that, and I broke it up into 3 parts for our Patreon community. And I'm getting feedback on that and seeing if people are enjoying that and stuff. So I've been busy doing that. I just dropped my latest Destiny help desk. I was talking to Fluffy Fingers MD. Yep. We talked about the latest PvP revamp, what it means to newer players, and if it'll encourage more Guardians to jump into the Crucible. So if you haven't checked that episode out, I'll put it in the description also down below. I did play comp. You were with me. Not the greatest night. I didn't even get a great roll of my Belisarius, but I was so spent that night after doing a podcast. And actually, I was so hyped afterwards. I went ahead and edited the podcast and released it the next morning. I just couldn't go to sleep. I was so wound up, man. I was so wound up, but I'm really looking forward to what's coming with Crucible changes next week. And we got the new Guardian Games All-Stars coming out as well. We'll talk about that next in the TWAB. Movie review. But I do not have a movie review this week, but I have a couple shows that I just started out. Got to mention here. I by the way, tomorrow, I'm recording this on Friday, the 1st of March. Tomorrow, the 2nd, I'm going to see Dune Part 2, and I've never been this excited to see a movie in a long time. So I think I watched Dune, the first Dune by Denny. I think I've watched it 7 times now. I really love his cinematography and just this whole story. And I watched the original Dune back in the 80s when it was more of a jokester type movie. But
I enjoyed the 80s with Sting. And,
yes.
The weird, I still want that Baron Harkonnen chair.
Yes.
You know how much those things go for?
Boy, things have changed, haven't they? You saw what kind of props they used back then and now what they use. It's just night and day.
I haven't been able to see the new Dune, and we're on Dune Part 2. Come on, dude, man.
You can see Dune.
I know.
I believe Dune's on Netflix right now.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, definitely. Don't miss
I got to dedicate some time to it.
It's a 3-hour movie, and I have a feeling this one's too. I wouldn't doubt it if this one was close to 3 hours too, but usually if a movie is that good, the 3 hours melts away and you don't even realize you're sitting there that long. But, so I am seeing that tomorrow. I'll have a full review on that next week, with my next guest, another brand new guest next week. I saw my wife and I were done watching, our normal shows that we watched. They ended up, I think, True Detective with Jodie Foster on HBO Max was the last one. We just finally finished watching that. So I'm like, well, okay, we need to watch what's the next series we're going to jump into? And we decided to jump into the latest season of Fargo. It's on Hulu. All the episodes are out. It was released in September of 2023. So they're all been out now. It's just a matter of sitting down and watching them. It is a very strange season. I am loving it. I'm not used to seeing John Hamm as a bad guy, but I'm curious to see how this season ends. Juno Temple, Keely from Ted Lasso, she plays a badass homemaker mom with a really mysterious past. And it's one of those series that kind of opens up slowly. And, as they peel the layers of the onion, it just gets more and more crazy. I'm only 2 episodes in, but I'm liking it so far. Now, the other show that I saw, and I've been scouring X, and a lot of people have chimed up on this as well, but I just saw the first 2 episodes of Shogun on Hulu. And I'll tell you what, Hulu they've been dropping some really good content lately, man.
They have. But I've been meaning to get into Shogun. I've been meaning to check it out.
This is showing my age, but I don't care. I was 12 years old when I saw the original Shogun. It was a network television special. It was over a 3-night event. And it was on for 3 nights, and I was mesmerized. This is one of the TV series that I'll never forget. It's like I said, I think of all the TV series I ever watched, this is the one I'll never forget. It was just that good. I learned what the Japanese term seppuku meant back then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was really surreal to hear it in this first episode. They mentioned it right away. And I was like, here we go.
That's a big thing.
This is going to be a jewel offering from Hulu. And I'm going to be sad when I've watched all the episodes because I'm really into it so far. I think there's 4 episodes total. I'm not sure, but that's all I see on the releases going forward. But, like I said, really, really great show. Some movies that I do plan on, watching at the theater or on streaming, coming up soon that I'm going to give reviews on is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. That's March 22nd. Arthur the King. This is with Mark Wahlberg. It's about a dog who follows an extreme racer all the way through this arduous, crazy race. They don't even know how this dog kept up with him, but that's in March 15th. Argyle's going to be coming out on Apple TV soon. I miss it at the theater, so I'll be watching that on Apple as soon as it comes out. Roadhouse with Jake Gyllenhaal. This is going to be it's a remake of the original. That's March 8th. Damsel. This is Millie Bobby Brown, from Stranger Things. Mm-hmm. March 8th on Netflix. I'm going to be watching that. It's kind of a dark, princess tale. Looks pretty cool. You Can Call Me Bill. This is actually a documentary about William Shatner. That's going to be at the theater on March 22nd. Monkey Man, Dev Patel, who actually I think directed it as well. April 5th. A Quiet Place, Day 1. That's coming this summer in June. And Twisters. It's a remake of Twister, the original Twister movie. That's coming in June as well.
I thought it was like a sequel, like Aliens.
I don't know.
I thought it followed on from the original.
I saw the trailer for it, and it looked like a remake, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see, I guess.
I think it's like one of those soft reboots.
Maybe it is. It might be continuing on from the original, from when Bill Paxton did it. So we'll have to see. But that's going to be another great summer movie. There's some good movies coming up. I'm really excited. I saw The Floor on Fox with Rob Lowe. I saw the finale. That one's done. I Can See Your Voice. We Are Family. The Voice are all back. I'm watching those. That's my weekly staples. Usually while I'm editing or cranking out bounties. Master of the Air with Austin Butler on Apple TV Plus. I'm continuing to finish watching that. And I did not do my wish tokens this week. I had to do Blindwell last week. I haven't done that one yet. And I think this week, we have to do a dungeon. I haven't done that one yet. So I have 2 wish tokens still to get done, but they don't expire. So I picked them up. I'm just waiting to get the time to get those done. My Transfiguration, I'm trying to get that finished so I can get it crafted. That's what I'm working on with my tokens because I just don't play the Last Wish raid very often. And I love the weapons from that raid. So I'm using the tokens to do that. And, that's about it for me. So I tell people don't use your wish tokens on exotics because you can get those in legendary lost sectors or on Neptune, the big, public event on Neptune. So don't waste your wish tokens on those exotics because you can get those in the game without having to use a wish token. And those wish tokens are, there's only 6 of them. So that's it for me though. Anything else, Mr. Brightside, before we move on back to the interview here?
No.
Okay. Well, let's get right back into it then. What's your main activity? What's your daily activity that you that you do without fail when you're jumping
Crucible.
on? Awesome.
Crucible control.
Awesome, man. Good.
Just give me 6v6 chaos.
Yeah.
When Mayhem comes around, that I like that. That's
Okay.
always fun.
Okay.
If for nothing else than other than Shaq saying, if you lose this contest, it is because you didn't throw enough grenades.
Yes.
Why are you not throwing grenades as I am saying this? Because every time I load into a lobby and that plays,
Right.
everybody whips a grenade, and it's just.
Miklo in our Discord also had a question for you, but I think you've already answered it. He goes, question for Brightside. What is your idea of a perfect breakfast?
Absolutely. Pork roll, egg, and cheese.
Yep.
No questions.
We dove into
My
that.
perfect breakfast, personally,
Yeah.
3 Red Bull and a hash brown from Wawa. That's about it, though.
Wow. Okay. You're an eating on the run guy. Gotcha.
Breakfast of champions. Just give
All
me the
right.
Red Bull, baby.
Dude, I love hash browns. I can eat them I can never stop eating them.
Oh, yeah, no.
I mean, it's the sweetest potato, saltiest. Oh my God. It's so good.
Yeah, it's good.
Got off track there. I'm starting to think about food now. What NPC in Destiny do you see yourself like the most if you were to relate to one of them? It could be a character too. It doesn't have to be an NPC. I mean, it doesn't have to be a vendor. It can be any character.
I'm gonna have to say Drifter, just because I have quite a few sketch qualities like he does.
Okay.
He always seems to know somebody or know something that, like, he's not telling everybody. And I know for a fact that, like, I have people in my phone for a specific reason.
Okay.
Sometimes.
We don't have to dive into that.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
I would have to say the sketchball Drifter.
I like that. Okay. If you said Crow, I would have had issues.
Oh, please. I don't want to start. I don't want to talk about
I'm sorry.
Crow.
I'm sorry. I know that's a sore subject.
He's such a bitch.
I know. Tell me about it. Hey, Lee's not here right now, so good. He went through the portal. He's done. If Bungie assigned a small but versatile dev team just to you, what are you working on for Destiny 2 in the future?
I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just tackle new player experience because I'm trying to get people onboarded with this game, man. Mm-hmm. And it is just, it's not newbie friendly.
It's not at all. They have something called Into the Light coming in April, and I'm really curious to see what that's going to be.
I am curious too.
I wonder if it's a revamp of their new player experience. I'm very hopeful. I'm probably sucking on a lot of copium right now, but still,
I know.
It's my hope. It's my hope.
Yeah, because like one of my friends got it. Like he picked it up in the Epic giveaway,
right?
And he was like, "Oh, I want to get into this." And so I've run him through some stuff, and he's just like, "I don't know how you have time for this." And my answer is just like, between the hours of 11 and 1.
Right.
It's just.
Yep.
But like, it's so dense. I mean, and it's not just the density; it's the time you have to put into it.
It is. It's like any game. It's a lot of games. I mean, Starfield was the same way, and I just have a cuter girlfriend that's Destiny right now. I mean, Starfield's she's great looking, but she just doesn't do what Destiny does for me right now.
Yeah, but like what I would focus on 100% is explaining stuff better. There's still stuff I don't understand. Like some of the buffs, like there's way more lore than there is explanation of mechanics sometimes.
I've got
and it gets explained to you once on a screen that you have to dismiss.
And you're expected to just know it.
And you're just like, remember it? Like, let me look these things up.
I've got so many ideas because that's what my YouTube channel is all about, is helping new players. But I've been holding off because Mr. Monkey said, you know what, Gator, wait and see what this Into the Light's about first, because they may address something that you're going to put out. I said, okay, I'm waiting until I see what Into the Light's about, and then I'll make a decision. But yeah, I've got some ideas. I've got some ideas that have been floating around in my head for a while. Now, do I have the time to do them all? I don't know yet. But there's a lot of great stuff that I want to share. Sith Daddy Fresh has a couple of questions for you here. Question for Mr. Brightside. If Gator were to have a super speed, what is a slightly inconvenient way he would have to use it? Super speed.
I mean, I'm going to assume like the Flash or something like that.
Okay. Like that speed. Okay. What is the slightly inconvenient way I would have to use it?
I would have to say having to get stuff for other people constantly.
Oh yeah,
that would be inconvenient as hell to be like, oh god, I got to power this up, put all this energy out to get them a soda. You know,
right.
like that would be inconvenient.
Yeah,
I think we could do that.
You did go for
general. Yeah. Like we made you an executive assistant, and that was your special talent there. That would be frustrating.
Okay, that's a good answer. He has another one here. Question for the show. According to Native, Pal World is the best world. But my question is Pal World in fact the best world?
I have not played Pal World.
Oh,
didn't grab me. Didn't grab me as anything. I was like, I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
No, the last thing that grabbed me was Helldivers.
I'm so trying not to play that game because I know once I do, I won't put it down. But everybody deals with the drought, the content drought in different ways. And the way I do it, I've been catching up on my shows. There's a lot of shows that I watch after I'm done doing my content creation stuff that I watch before I go to bed. And then, I jump in and I'm trying to stay fresh in Crucible. That's kind of how and then we got stuff coming next week. So we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But,
I think it'll pick up with Guardian Games again.
I think so. It's
a little bit.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree. Few signature questions here before we go. Do you have any hobbies outside of gaming?
Yeah, I do. I had too many. So like my main thing is
literally.
Yeah. Oh god. I've been working on a 3D printer from scratch for a little while now.
Okay.
But I also picked up a resin SLA printer for $60. Thank you, Monoprice.
Now you're trying to build a 3D printer, or you're trying to build something with it?
Oh no, I have one functional one that's the resin printer, but I'm also still building one from scratch.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
It's like at this point it's like an old car. Like I've just had been going at this project, but it's it's one of those hobbies that like, or one of those projects that like you go into and you start thinking like, oh yeah, this will be easy. No, because now I'm conversant in C++. I know also, I know how to wire a switch now. Like it's just, you don't understand, the scale of shit that goes into it.
So you're into coding. That's good.
I'm coding. I got into everything with this, just because like I have it's the nice thing about the 3D printers is that they are a tool that you can use to make other tools.
Okay. Makes sense.
So, like it's the means by which I can turn around and turn, because I also have, professional experience in product design and, what's it called? Mechanical, I don't want to say mechanical engineering, but 3D CAD and CAM software.
Okay.
So, I can take an idea from scratch, like I can take an idea, draw it out on the computer, throw it on the printer, have a prototype within 5 hours.
Wow.
So,
That's
like if I need to build something, like if I need to solve something around the house, like, hey, I need a bracket to put this here, and nothing actually exists. That is now 5 hours away.
So I guess my question is when are you going to make me a pulse rifle?
After I finish my Sunshot.
Okay, fine. Okay.
But yeah, which one do you want?
Just the OG one would be fine. The one from Destiny 1 which they call it hold please. It is
the Kostov?
No, not that original.
The Pulse.
No, original Pulse. That the well, you haven't finished the story. You haven't finished the campaign in Destiny 1, but someone will give you this pulse rifle before the story ends. It never really ends. The story never really ends in Destiny. They just kind of drag you along and you're like, okay, well, what happens next? Or where do I go? So don't be frustrated, because we're still wondering what's next in Destiny. They've been stringing us along for quite a while now when it comes to that stuff. Oh, yeah. Come on, Gator. Where the hell did you put it? I'm looking in dim here. I'm probably staring right at it. Jeez Louise, man. I'll find it. This is what post-editing's for.
Yeah.
Man, I cannot believe it's not here. Okay. Just let me just slow down my thought process here. Take a breath. It's a kinetic. It gives you a little void soul, a little arc soul, or actually a soul when you get so many crits with it.
Oh. It's an exotic?
Yeah, it's an exotic pulse. Please tell me I didn't delete it. There's no way I deleted it because after I used it the other day. When am I in that? Oh, I'm on my alt account. That's the reason why I'm having a hard time finding it. Shoot.
Was it No Time to Explain?
Yep, that's it. Yeah, make me a No Time to Explain. That's an awesome looking pulse rifle. Or an Outbreak Perfected. I mean, no, that's Nico's favorite.
Oh, that's real common. I could get that model in about 2 minutes.
Really? Really? Okay.
I'm looking at it right now.
The No Time to Explain or the other one?
Either.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
I already had those in my collections on Thingiverse, man. I thought you were going to give me something obscure.
Oh, no. I mean, I have quite a collection of pulse rifles. I'm a pulse rifle connoisseur, man. I
have way too many hand cannons for somebody who is not good with hand cannons.
I want to be good with hand cannons, but I don't know about you, but I came from Call of Duty where it was all about assault rifles. If I carried a pistol in my hand, I was at a disadvantage in Call of Duty. That's why I never really liked hand cannons, because I didn't use pistols, and even Battlefield, pistols were a sidearm. That was something you put in your holster that you used to keep yourself alive once you emptied your assault rifle, you know?
Exactly.
I'm just old school. And when I see people running around with these big giant hand cannons in their hand, with these big giant aim boxes, you know, they're actually pretty easy to use. The hardest part I'm finding with hand cannons is pacing your shots, because the bloom still is there. A lot of people want to just hold down and press the automatic trigger on it, and that's usually the worst thing to do. Of course, I'm not an expert, but that's what I've found. I miss a lot of shots when I'm trying to just fire it on automatic mode. So
yes. I mean, short controlled bursts has always been the mantra.
The key is to remember if it's a 140, you need to know how fast you can fire it. And I just don't have enough practice doing it.
140s are too slow for me. My favorite hand cannon.
You use 180s?
I love my 180s.
You said Sunshot. Sunshots are 150s. That's a beautiful.
Sunshots 150s, but my favorite, far and away my favorite one is my which one does Frontier's Cry.
What's that from?
That is from Iron Banner a few seasons ago.
Okay. See, I just dismantle when I get those. I have a few hand cannons just in case I get a bounty. It says I got to get a hand cannon kill, and that's it. And I got my exotics.
Right. Well, let me run down my favorite Frontier's Cry here on why I dismantle all of them.
All right.
Range Masterwork.
I'm going to just search and make sure. I know I don't have it.
Chamber Compensator, Flared Magwell, Steady Hands, Iron Reach, and you got the Skulking Wolf Origin trait.
Right.
The aim assist is disgusting.
Really?
It can be cranked up to an 80 with a mod.
Oh, that's a lot.
And when you proc Iron Reach and Steady Hands, the thing just shoots for miles. It has a huge range. At least it feels that way to me. I don't know. I'm not going to sit down and get all crazy about the numbers. I just know I can land longer range shots with that than I can any other hand cannon.
Hand cannons have incredible range. I mean, they compete with pulse rifles.
I know.
Pulse rifles are they're a rifle. They're a shoulder-mounted weapon.
Yeah, and this is reaching out and touching people at distance.
Yeah. You got to think of a hand cannon as like a kind of a slow-firing scout rifle. It's a peek and shoot weapon, and once you get that peek and shoot down, all the best players will just peek, pop, and you're dead. And there's nothing you can do.
Or just run Crimson.
Yeah, I don't think Crimson's really a hand cannon. It's kind of a pulse rifle. And
it's a pulse.
But you know what though? They're bringing Red Dead, man. When I saw the trailer for Final Shape and I saw Red Dead, I about lost my mind because that's my all-time favorite exotic of all time in this game. And I can't wait to use it. I'm a little hyped. So,
I'm excited.
All right. MrBrightside, dude, what's up with that gamer tag?
All right. This is going to be a weird story.
I'm ready.
So, I mean, this is just what happened here. All right. So I had a Fortune Red for gag. Okay. And they go, wow, that's weird. MrBrightside by the Killers is going to be it's going to come up at a couple pivotal times. And I was like, weird. Sure, but okay. And I was out of work for a little while, and I had not heard this song since, right? Mm-hmm. And like I had been ear out for it. I'm like, because I shuffle through my Spotify playlist on random, the whole library. Mm-hmm. Didn't come up, never came up anywhere else. Didn't hear it. I was like, all right, fine, whatever. Silly thing. And then I get an email about a job offer while I'm scrolling through TikTok. And the one that lands on as I see the banner notification is somebody doing a ska cover of MrBrightside.
Really?
I go, not exactly how I expected it to happen, but we're going to take it. It's come up a couple times since, too, so it's been weird. But
what a unique fortune.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weirdly specific.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Which was the thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, and like for it to come up like that, I was like, you know what, let's just go with it. Because I changed the gamer tag from something else that was, a stupid joke, but,
I like it.
I love it.
It's actually, I like it. When I see it, it kind of brings a smile to my face. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's just the way it's spelled, and maybe it's the word.
Name, and then I open my mouth.
Hey, do you have a motto or mantra that you live by, speaking of which?
Yeah. If it's stupid and it works, it's no longer stupid.
Okay. Interesting. That's one I haven't heard before. People either love that or hate it, because there are definitely two types of people. And there are people who are going to say, well, if it works and it's stupid, it could be better. And then there are people who understand that if it works and it's stupid, it's no longer stupid. I'm kind of neutral.
I don't know how to put it,
Yeah, I'm kind of neutral to it. I'd like to see how that works out. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's...
Well, what's stupid? I mean, that's very subjective. What's stupid?
Well, that phrase came up a lot when we were playing paintball.
Okay.
Like, you'd be fixing a gun or something, and nothing would be working, and then you'd just be like, I'm going to put Dow on everything now, which is a paste lubricant.
Right.
And you just Dow the hell out of it, and it stops leaking. And, my team captain would be like, well, if it's stupid and it works, it's no longer stupid.
Okay.
Which is to mean, if it works and you're going to question why it works, don't question why it works. Just let it work.
I used to play a lot of paintball back in the day. How far did you go down that rabbit hole?
Semi-pro for 15 years.
Holy shit, dude. Did you play arenas or did you play woods or what'd you play?
I played when I started, I started playing when I was like 11.
Okay.
It had just been legalized in Jersey because we were the last to legalize paintball.
Really?
prior to that, it was considered assault and battery to play in the state.
No shit. Wow.
Yeah, no, dead ass. And the first field that was opened in Jersey is a little ways away from me in Jackson, and that was Top Gun. And they were like the only game in town, so we went to play at, you know, a bunch of birthday parties there.
Yeah.
And like I fell in love with the speed and the adrenaline.
It's so much fun.
And like I just kept that ball rolling, and I ended up playing a bunch of tournament ball, local stuff, and when you know I made it out. Eventually, our team made it up to D2. You know, which is like the division below, you know, like you have, you know, like you're getting fucking endorsement deals from,
That's
you're
awesome.
getting your own guns and stuff.
Sweet.
You know, like
those are expensive
team,
too,
like,
man, especially ammo. You go through
please, paint. Well, that was the thing, man. You secured a paint sponsor first.
Of course. Then you get your free ammo, and then you can just plaster the sticker everywhere, right?
Well, so I played tournament for a while.
No, you played tournament. Was it speedball, or was it like flat spin barrels and stuff, or speedball? Okay.
No, we played all airball.
Okay.
We played all airball.
Dude, that was so scary, man, because you can empty a gun so fast and not get hit by anything. It's so hard. That's high skill, dude.
We turned around, and our shop, I played for a shop, and our shop was notorious for our tuning abilities because we had some real psychos and some real electrical engineers, and those two happened to be the same person.
Oh, electronic triggers?
You have no idea.
Oh my God. I can imagine.
I don't know if I can tell this story.
Well,
I think the statute of limitations is up, but what happened was the War Games products had just released their brand new fastest autococker on the market, the Carnivore.
Okay.
It used the same E-blade trigger that my brother's Black Magic autococker did.
Mm-hmm.
We may or may not have gotten a copy of those settings.
Oh, no.
And the program files.
Oh, gosh.
We may or may not have put them into a regular Black Magic autococker. Allegedly, this thing outshot a Halo hopper, which is a force feed of 35 balls a second.
Dude, that's crazy.
Allegedly.
Oh, my God, dude.
Allegedly, I could smell smoke on the Dell room.
Oh, my God, dude. Yeah, I was a lot slower pace. Yeah.
No, we had a guy, you know the Tippmann A5, right?
Say again?
The Tippmann A5?
I've been out of paintball a long time, man.
All right. It was the one with the side loading.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know, it had the big mouth hopper and had the special feed on the side.
I know the gun you're talking about.
So you're familiar with the limitation of this loading system. It only loads as fast as the gun can fire.
Right.
What if I told you could get that thing to go up to 37 rounds a second?
Jesus, dude. I mean, I watched Pro Ball. It was crazy how fast those things emptied paintballs.
And that's what we brought to the woods.
God damn, man. Wow. That had to be fun.
We went out and played, when I stopped playing tournament stuff, I got older, and we went out and played like big games, which I don't know if you've ever played a scennario or a big game. You talking about
like a military exercise? We used to do that.
Yeah.
It was like team deathmatch, but in like 5-acre area.
How many people though?
I think there were probably, let me think now, cause my employees would actually play, and then my wife actually got into it too. I think at one point we had maybe 6 on each side, a 6v6 game. Nothing like ground war or anything. It wasn't that crazy.
No. When I say big game, I mean like 500 on 500.
What? Dude. What kind of era are we talking about here?
I'm talking like legit out in Okay, so I played a game. I'll just give you an example. Okay. It was a 24-hour scenario NJ Nam big game event down in it was like exit 2 on the turnpike. It was like way down South Jersey.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Like I could see like the next exit was the Delaware Memorial Bridge, and we could see the shit from where we were.
Wow.
You know? But like it was 500 on 500. God. This was the game that I was choppered into.
What? You were helicoptered into the field?
Yeah. So here's what happened. Our team was notorious for a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was our field tactics.
Okay.
And the guys who ran the game were like, "No, let's put the MI guys on the chopper. Let's see what happens."
Wow.
So what they were doing was they were ferrying like 4 or 5 of us from the staging lot,
right?
The parking lot,
mm-hmm.
staging area. We were choppered out onto the other side of the field where there was a heliport.
Wow.
And the airfield was supposed to be a second insert point just for the U.S. forces in this scenario.
Right.
It was not supposed to be recaptured by the Vietnamese.
Oh my gosh.
The refs let it get recaptured.
Oh,
so we land, and we're hearing Hot LZ on the radio,
right.
and we're going, "Excuse me?"
Yeah.
And as we're coming down, we see the line because they're at the FAA 500 meter line that you have to be away from a helicopter or whatever the hell it is.
Right.
And they're all just sitting there checking their guns.
Jeez.
And they've got us surrounded.
Oh my God.
And I'm talking maybe like there's like 100 of them.
Oh
and all we have for cover is, and I'm not kidding, it was a piece of plywood. It was probably 6 foot by 10.
Oh man.
There were 12 of us.
Oh my God.
We got hammered on. All right, when people talk about that stand in reach at the very end,
mm-hmm.
I've done it. All right, it's not fun. Because you're sitting there, you're just bucking off on every direction. Just, they haven't hit you yet. And, there was that. But that was also the game that was 24 hours.
Jeez.
So what happened was, another thing that happened was we would play at night, right?
Night ball.
Pitch black.
Oh my God.
And they would give you.
Did you get infrared?
Some people did, but like other people, like what you could get was these special hoppers that had black lights in them.
Right.
And they had glow in the dark paint, so you could put in tracer rounds.
Gotcha.
See where you were shooting.
That's a good idea, yeah.
And we're out there just trucking through the woods. And there's a guy, I hear one of the guys stop. I go, and he starts talking. And I'm like, "Yo, will you shut?" And then I hear the other voice. He had stepped on a guy in a ghillie suit.
Oh my God, I used to have a ghillie. Oh my God.
The guy in the ghillie suit goes, "I've got you dead to rights. Just surrender." Now, we were sponsored by, I don't know if you knew the Tiberius pistols, the magazine-fed paintball pistols that came out a while ago.
I was late in the game.
They were, like, this was like a brand new thing, and we got sponsored by them, so we all had them.
Oh my God.
Problem, here's why things had to get redesigned.
Right.
We cost some people some money with this move. Because the holster was, your neoprene kind of, woven thing.
Sure.
But it had a clear, the barrel cleared the bottom.
Right. It was an open holster. I got you.
It was an open holster.
I think I know where this is going.
This dude, the thing as slow as he can, and just slides his finger into this big ass holster and pops him from his thigh.
That's crazy.
At the end of the game, like they do the closing thing, like everyone gets prizes and, we're doing the raffle and hey, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
They go, "One announcement. We all love the new Tiberius pistol, but the holster is a barrel blocking device. You know who you are." And they just looked at us.
As you're collecting your money.
No, we were just waving at that point. We were like, what else can you do?
Yeah.
You've been called out. You're just going to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it was.
Dude,
I played a long time.
I love that stuff. We were hobbyists, man. We didn't play the pro. I mean, we would, after work, we would do a snake draft and pick teams. And then it was, when you were shot, you were shot. And I remember this one time, just a real short story here. I was all about the flat spin snipers. And it was the weirdest thing to see a perfectly round paintball travel 300 yards and without budging. It was the weirdest thing to see. It was almost artificial. I remember I aimed at my wife. She was on the other team. Yeah.
That was the flatline barrel.
Yeah, flatline barrel. I got all the coolest stuff, man. I was woods ball. I was much slower paced. I looked at those arenas. I'm like, there's no way I'd last 5 seconds in here. I have to have cover, and I even had a ghillie suit at one point. But I remember firing this thing and watching it literally in real time. It felt like slow motion. And I saw it hit my wife and right in the side of her neck, and I freaked the fuck out because it didn't look like it was going very fast, but it's an optical illusion when you shoot it. And oh my God, I ran up there. I was like, are you okay? You okay? I was so worried she was going to have like, a bleed or something, you never know, that's the risk when you're playing paintball is getting a blood clot or something. And then it is. And after that, I got
repeated head trauma.
Oh, of course. Everyone, you ever play paintball, you got the bruises to show.
Dude,
or at least you did.
All right. My last gun was a Smart Parts SP8, which was basically the Milsim Woods Ball version of the Smart Parts Ion.
Okay.
Anybody out there knows what I'm talking about?
Sure.
You know. But the XP8 was patterned on the military's XM8 from H&K, the weapons manufacturer.
Really?
Because H&K had a facility in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, where Smart Parts was.
No shit.
The engineers from both companies would go out drinking together.
Oh my God, that's not good.
This is part of the reason this gun existed.
Wow.
It was only sold for about 9 months.
Yeah.
Because H&K had to send them a cease and desist because they lost a military contract because the military started asking questions about why a civilian paintball gun looked like their new service weapon potential.
No. That sucks.
So, it's I don't think there's a lot of them out there.
Wow.
But dude, I got that thing rocking so fast that I was shooting over one of my teammates' shoulders, and I'm just laying down a lane, right? Just keeping her. I'm, and I tell her, get up to that next bunker, run,
right? And
she made and I was expecting. I'm holding the lane down,
right?
I'm sitting there. I'm carrying a full case of paint on me. I can keep this up all day.
Wow. And
she makes one mistake. She stood up.
Oh, no.
She stood right up into my lane, and she was, no joke, maybe 2 feet in front of me.
Oh, no.
She ended up with a concussion.
Oh, of course.
I was shooting so fast.
Oh, my God, dude. Yeah.
I was like, I still feel bad about it.
When it's your wife, your young wife at that time for me.
Oh.
And, she hasn't had kids yet, I'm freaking out.
Oh, yeah.
So,
you're just like, oh.
Yeah. I said, well, you know what? I think we're done. Done, guys. I think what happened is my wife wasn't allowed to play from then on out. I'll take the bruises. I'll take the hits, but dude, it was so much fun. I mean, we played till dusk every night or every Friday after work, everybody get their paychecks and then we go, sometimes we would bet our paychecks, but, we would go to this one woods area it was just like you, man. It was just a blank lot off a highway. And we would probably, in hindsight, would have gotten arrested for trespassing, but we didn't give a shit. A lot of people, no one knew about this little honey hole, and eventually they built something over it, and that was it too for us.
Let me tell you about how I grew up with this game, okay?
Okay.
Because I grew up in a smaller town, in Monmouth County, New Jersey, and it had patches of woods back then. And in those patches of woods, you could find, if you went far enough, people had set up fields all across town.
Right.
Some were on people's properties that used them. Some were in really, underdeveloped, way out in the brush.
Right.
But the cops all knew about them. So we would still go up. We would go out and play.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then, if somebody complained about anything, the cops would show up.
Right.
They'd be like, all right. If we were in the middle of a game, they would use the bullhorn to be like, guys, take 5.
Yeah.
And they would come in, but they were remarkably chill about it back then. And they were like, all right, you guys got goggles. You guys got, all right, yeah, you just get out of here before 2. They were remarkably chill about it.
That's cool. Except
for the time that one of our friends got dropped off with his paintball gun in a bank parking lot.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Cop came back and all he goes is, "Which one of you idiots got dropped in the bank parking lot today?"
Oh my God.
Because all she saw.
Oh yeah.
Poor woman
probably some red, right?
No, all she saw was a guy get out of a car wearing a mask, carrying a duffel bag, and a silver case.
Oh, no.
She thought she was about to be in the middle of an Ocean's 11 heist.
Oh, my God. Dude.
All right? So she trips the silent alarm.
Oh, no.
And calls the cops. The cops come find us and find the kid who did it. And the cop just goes, "Are you serious?"
Oh, my God. You had cool cops, man.
It was, they had better shit to do because it was opening day of the racetrack.
Right.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He came back here and was like, "You're bothering me with this shit."
There's always one in the crowd, man. There's always one dumbass.
Oh, it was so funny though.
Yeah, dude, that sounds like good times. I know what the title of this episode is going to be.
Who the hell knows?
Well, let me finish with this wrap-up question. It's always my favorite question. And maybe we've answered it already tonight, but what is one thing about you that our community may not know about you? Little nugget.
I mean, where do you want to start?
Well, just give us a nugget. Just give us one thing. You don't have to tell us everything, but just one thing that maybe someone may not know about you.
Other than like the ridiculous wealth of paintball stories that I have.
I bet.
Other than the obvious ADHD.
Sure.
Yeah. I've done so many different things for so many, I don't know. I mean, I have traveled so widely. That's probably
really.
Yeah, I've done a lot of travel.
So where you been? Name some places.
A bunch of I can name a bunch of cities in Spain.
Oh, never been to Spain.
Paris Paris once.
Nice.
Frankfurt, Germany once.
I'd love to go to Frankfurt. I'd love to go to any part of Germany. It's a beautiful country.
Germany is cool. Yeah. I spent some time in the Black Forest. I
want to go to Bavaria.
That place.
I have roots
Bavaria. Yeah. Bavaria is cool.
My brother's doing a 23andMe. He's really diving deep into our family history, and we have roots in Bavaria. I'm like, hell yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, you're not going to get me spitting into a cup.
I know. I'm like, my brother's literally taking the bullet for the whole family because I'm like, I'm not doing it.
You're not getting my.
Not getting my DNA. I mean, I'm sure they got all the info they need on me anyway, but still.
Oh, they got
why give them more ammunition, Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. So you've been a world traveler. That is pretty cool.
I've been up, I mean, that's just Europe. I've been out. I did a whole summer in Hawaii once.
Nice. I've been there. That's a cool place.
That's like a long story. That was like a weird thing, but.
Okay. Remember what islands?
I hit Kauai first.
Yep, I know Kauai. Yep.
Then Maui.
Maui I have been to.
I've been to Oahu and the Big Island. Both sides, Kona and Hilo on the Big Island.
Nice. Waikiki. I've been there.
Let me tell you though, the Kona coast of the Big Island is the closest you will ever get to feeling like you were driving on Mars.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Lava fields for miles.
Is that all the black sand everywhere?
There's black sand. But there's also a lot of the really porous lava flows.
Yes, the lava rock. Yeah,
the really sharp one.
Ooh,
and it's just that field goes on so far, and I mean and it's got to be worse now with some of the eruptions. But like you look at that lava flow, and you're just like, all you see is rocks for miles, and you're just like, this looks like an alien planet. Like this is
crazy. I've been up in places in high up in the mountains in Montana and Colorado that don't seem like they're on Earth either, man. Just some really cool rock formations. So I get it, man. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I've seen some crazy things.
Okay. Well, we'll keep it legal. I don't want to incriminate on anything.
I mean, I've seen some crazy things that way, but I've also seen some crazy things that are like weird. But
yeah. All right. Good, man. Well, hey, Mr. Brightside, Thank you, brother, for sharing your life with us tonight, man. That was a good interview.
Not a problem.
Yeah, I think me and you could talk for a lot longer than an hour.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Well, that being said, it's time for the speed run. And we're going to take a small break and stretch here, and then we'll do this when we get back.
Call the Praxic Order, call the Thanatonauts, the Jinsen Scribes, call everyone so they can witness you.
All right, boys and girls, this segment is called the speed run. This is where I have a database of over 800 possible questions for our guest, and these have all been entered from our past seasons from our Discord community. And MrBrightside here is going to have 2 minutes to answer as many as he can. These are short 1 or 2 word answers, and at the end of the year, the guest with the most answer will win a prize and title of 2024 Speedrun Champion. They'll also get a special role in our Discord community. The questions are custom curated by me, so no one can memorize the order and just, quickly answer what comes to mind. Tonight, I'm going to read out the questions from my list, and my assistant on my phone will help me with the timer. Nico, aka Jersey, is still our current leader with 48 questions answered. So what do you think, MrBrightside? You ready to do this, man?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. Counting down. 3, 2, 1. Warlock, Titan, or Hunter?
Warlock.
Hand trowels or air dryer?
Hand towels.
Void, solar, arc, stasis, or strand?
Arc.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Hawaii.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Controller or mouse and keyboard?
Mouse and keyboard.
Fusion rifle or shotgun?
Shotgun.
Strikes, Crucible, or Gambit?
Crucible.
Are you an AMC Stubbs member?
Nope.
Quest or RNG?
I'm sorry?
Quest or RNG?
Let's just go with Quest.
If you could choose, who would voice your ghost?
Robin Williams.
Walmart or Target?
Target.
Human, Awoken, or Exo?
Exo.
Horror movies, yes or no?
No.
Is Scumdeath your uncle?
Apparently.
What's your favorite Destiny planet?
It was Io.
Freeze or Scorch?
Scorch.
Vex, Hive, or Fallen?
Vex.
What's your favorite armor or weapon mod?
Firepower.
What is the best sandwich?
Fat sandwich. Fat arrow, specifically.
What armor slot do you use as an exotic?
Usually on gauntlets.
Head Seeker or Kill Clip?
Kill clip.
Ikora, Cade, or Zavala?
Cade.
TV or monitor?
TV as monitor.
What number am I thinking of?
27.
Mars, Sov, or Petra?
Petra.
Describe yourself in one word.
Unhinged.
Destiny 2 seasonal events, yes or no?
Yes.
What's one thing that you own that you need to be thrown out?
Lots of computer parts.
What's the worst job you've ever had?
Running cable under a boardwalk.
Have you ever been in a band?
No.
Do you have a tattoo?
No.
All right. Not bad. Not bad. I've got 32 total. Not too shabby, man.
All right.
Cool deal, man. I appreciate you doing it, man.
48's a high bar to clear.
And I kind of like the answers that are kind of thought about a little bit. I don't know. I just always like that.
Yeah.
But,
well, there's something to consider because,
mm-hmm.
You know, when it comes down to, like preferred status effect, I will play Arc is my favorite, but I will play mostly Solar just because of the, the damage output.
Yeah. I hear you, man. I hear you. Well, good job, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you playing along. Hey, I've got a question for all you listeners out there. Do you have a great speedrun question for our segment for next year? If that's a yes, join our Discord and enter them in our speedrun question ideas channel. We've been getting some good stuff in there. I'm liking it. Like I said, we'll add them to next year's speedrun. Just remember they need to be yes or no or 1 or 2 word answers. Either or questions will also be accepted. And one open-ended question I like is, what's your favorite? At the end of the year, we're going to have 2 drawings for a $25 gift card of your choice, and you can enter up to 5 questions to go in that drawing. So good luck, and let's hear them. Also, if you're enjoying what you've heard so far in our show and you know someone who plays Destiny, hey, could you do us a favor? Could you share the show with them? We do not advertise at all. It's all word of mouth. So the links will be in our show description down below, in our show description, or you can just hit that share button on whatever podcast app you're using. We appreciate you. All right, Mr. Brightside, that means it's time for This Week in Destiny.
Hello, Scumdeath here, your favorite uncle, and you are listening to the most heavy metal Destiny podcast on Earth, Guardian Downcast. Guardian Downcast! Yow!
All right, This Week in Destiny for February 29th, 2024. The main thing that they're talking about this week is Guardian Games is coming back. I mean, we all know about the cool Sandbox and Crucible changes coming back this week. Actually, by the time you hear this episode on Monday, it'll be tomorrow. So make sure you download the patch before you hop on. Don't be that person in the console with their fire team waiting for you to download it. Make sure you get that downloaded as soon as possible. Usually comes out probably right before reset on Tuesday, I imagine. That'll be update 7.3.5. Well, as I mentioned, we have Guardian Games coming back with the new patch, the new total revamp of the Crucible 2.0, as I like to call it. Also some sandbox changes generally as well. Sorry, Threadling hunters. Your time is done. It's time for the Warlocks. But anyway.
No tears, only dreams now.
There you go. Well said. Well said. With the Guardian Games though, they have a new transport vehicle, let's call it, called the Skimmer. And if you remember playing Lightfall, this is what our pal in Neomuna was rolling around on in one of the cutscenes. So now we get to have one of these. The new Skimmer is called the All-Star Vector. It'll be available for everyone to earn during Guardian Games All-Stars. Just pick it up from Eva Levante after completing the onboarding quest. And here's the important part. If you want to keep it permanently after the event finishes, you're going to want to do that, by the way. Complete the drop-in quest, and the All-Star Vector will be yours to keep forever. So, they do have another Skimmer. It's inspired by the beloved Destiny weapon. Will be available in the in-game Eververse. You know, they had to make their money. There's another one you can buy. Probably has some kind of a special emote or something with it. Whichever style Skimmer you prefer, you'll be able to start grinding for those into space rails next week. So, I gotta admit, I'm gonna get one of these. I'm definitely going to play this.
I'm going to get one because I need to be, robot space wizard Tony Hawk.
Absolutely. And I'm from Florida. I'm all about the surfing. So, I'm getting one too.
Oh,
yeah. Well, I can say like a surfboard. Yeah. I mean, it looks like
it is definitely, it's very much a surfboard.
It could be both. It could be a hoverboard. It could be, you're right. It could be both. Well, however way you use it, you can get it and keep it permanently. So that's a cool thing. Okay, so let the games begin. To take part in the Guardian Games, you'll have to start by, of course, talking to your grandma, Eva Levante, at the tower. She'll gift you the class item. You know, you got to have the class item on to earn your medals. Keep that in mind. It's usually it's pretty ornate, though. It's always pretty cool looking, though. They put a lot of artwork into these class items. I usually keep them because they just look so good. You know, you'll have to do a simple starting quest like you do every year. And that's how you'll earn your first medallion, they say, and unlock the next quest, and it unlocks everything from there on the event card. And really, it's pretty much Guardian Games. I mean, they have a few things they're changing this year. The first thing they're going to do is they're adding a new diamond medal, which is, I guess it's the ultimate tier. They say the diamond medallions awarded by these are worth a lot and can change the course of the day. So they're limited to 3 a week. 2 of them are focused on in-game activities, one for PvE and one for PvP. So basically probably trials and a raid or a dungeon. And the third is kind of unique. It's a Twitch drop from watching a Destiny 2 stream for 2 hours during that week. Grenader Jake, here I come, buddy. I'm going to watch you playing trials this weekend. That's what I'll be doing with it. All medallions, Guardians banked in the tower will be counted daily, and the crest of the daily winning class will be inserted into the tower podium for everyone to keep track of their standing, just like they always have. As far as the mechanism, depositing your medals and stuff, it's identical to last year. You have the chests that float next to it that you'll unlock as you get the medals to unlock them. So everything's pretty much the same there. But then there's going to be some new glows they're going to be giving you. Depending on your contributions to Guardian Games All-Stars, you'll earn glows and the bragging rights that come with them. These are linked to your personal and group achievements, and there's 5 in total. One will be the best in tower. That's the one where you'll be glowing, like when you rank up your Guardian rank. Another one will be is being a member of a winning class for the day. A shoulder glow linked to your weekly performance in the Nightfall playlist. A second shoulder glow for your weekly performance in Supremacy and Gambit. I'm going to be playing a crap ton of Supremacy.
Yeah.
A bronze, silver, or gold glow with the shape of the laurel crown, depending on your class place, in the Friday coronation. So they're going to have the Friday, they're going to have the ending ceremony every week on Fridays, like they did always in the past. At the end of the event, though, the class that wins the most days will be crowned the winner, and their class item will change to gold until the next event to remind everyone of their victory. Not only that, but for the whole year, members of the winning class will be able to trigger some fancy fireworks in the tower if they interact with the Guardian Games All-Stars statue, which is directly in the middle when you enter in between Shaxx and Zavala. The second and third place classes will see their class items change to silver and bronze respectively and can still enjoy the fireworks. No thanks. If I don't win it, I'm not going to do that. But, all right. Quest activities and class matchmaking. They did this last year and it was a lot of fun. And banking medallions is one of the main pursuits of Guardian Games All-Stars. The other would be igniting the fires of victory behind the podium in the tower. Complete the 2 weekly quests by earning high scores in the Guardian Games All-Star special events. The first quest is called Shoot to Score. It involves Zavala, who asks you to get medals and points by diving into the Nightfall playlist. The recreational playlist is just chill and good for practicing strategies. It's just like last year. You go to the competitive one, it unlocks everything. Earn your high scores, etc., etc. In the second quest is vying for supremacy. It will pit Guardians against Guardians in the Crucible and or Gambit to earn high scores. Boy, Stormcrow just got a Woody. Yeah, so you can do it in Gambit as well. It doesn't have to be Supremacy and Crucible. So keep that in mind. I might actually play some Gambit. I've heard some good things. Sounds like it's been fun. Getting high scores. Getting high scores in both playlists will unlock up to 4 chests for each of the quests. These chests will reward you with gear and materials, depending on the tier you reach, bronze to platinum, and buff your guardian so you can shatter your own high scores with ease. So, now one thing they did change this year is there's something they call a focus activity. It says you can get more out of an event if you jump into a focus activity every few hours. One of the Guardian Games All-Stars playlists, remember there's Nightfall, Supremacy, or Gambit, will be the focus activity. They will be live for 2 hours from Monday to Thursday and 3 hours from Friday to Sunday. And they are all a new great way to get medallions and other rewards. So playing a focus activity unlocks up to 3 tiers of reward packages that go from bronze to silver to gold. The better the prizes for each tier, for each of the tiers, you'll get a better prize. There's one more package, the Champions package, that, as you can imagine, will go to the class that dominates the focus activity by earning the highest scores. The Champions package will fill the medallion case, not including diamond medallions, because those are unique to their own contender cards. Don't worry if your class doesn't win one focus activity. There are several chances to do so, and the director will show exactly when these activities start so no one misses it. What are you going to do this, man? You can do this focus activity thing? It'll have to be at night for me, right? I mean,
yeah, it depends on the hours, but like it's the same thing as it's almost the same thing as happy hour in Titanfall 2.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, great comparison. That's exactly what it is. They have a new weapon and a new memento. And I got to tell you, man, the Dawning event, that memento was poor. It was terrible. I earned it one time thinking it was going to be great. I put it on a weapon and I was like, really? That's it? I mean, come on. If you're going to get a memento, it's got to be at least a little crazy, right? It's got to have some movement.
Yeah.
You want it to be kind of badass looking, right?
Because otherwise I just get the movement based shaders, you know?
Yeah, like there's some shaders that do it too. Exactly.
Yeah,
so,
and they're tagged now.
Yes. And also you can only put it on your crafted weapons. So keep that in mind. But they have a new heavy weapon, and I'm interested, man. This is, remember last week I mentioned they were buffing the heavy grenade launcher wave frames, and I said, man, I don't have one of these in my vault. Apparently it was from one activity, but they're dropping one, man. It's called Hullabaloo. Wow, listen to this, man. It's an arc compressed wave frame heavy grenade launcher. Archetype will get an increase in damage at the moment Guardian Games All-Stars drops, and it also has some unique perks. Volt shot in the third column with chain reaction in the fourth. That's just going to be a menace. You talk about ad control, man. That thing is going to be a menace. So I'll be
I'm pairing that with the Arc Soul Warlock.
Yep. Yes, and thank you. I'll definitely be picking that up.
Oh yeah.
They also, the Traxpus, the Strand lightweight scout rifle, which I use in Crucible today. It is a very good lightweight scout rifle. Remember, it's a 200 RPM, and they're buffing those for Crucible. So
yeah, those are solid.
If you haven't gotten that, get that too. The title, Void Aggressive Machine Gun will also be back out. Not a favorite of mine, but it does have repulsor brace and surrounded that they're adding into the third column. So keep that in mind. But on top of these rewards, there's also a Guardian Games All-Stars memento. You'll have the chance to earn the special customized item when banking gold and platinum medallions. If you really want one, you better focus on getting those diamond medallions, which guarantees the memento. I'm there, man. Grenadier Jake, here I come. Once you have a Guardian Games All-Star memento in your inventory, EVA will store your extra ones until the end of the event. I love this change. Thank you.
That's good.
I hated that I had to put it immediately on a gun so I can at least save it or at least get one to drop again. Because if you held it in your inventory, doesn't matter how many times you tried to focus or do whatever, another one wouldn't drop because it was already in your inventory slot. So now, if you earn extra ones, Grandma Eva will be able to store them for you. I love this. I will definitely be using this. And I have it on the, one of the seasonal, the scalar potential. In fact, I have this crafted as well. It's a very strong pulse rifle, fast firing, rapid fire.
It's a nice one.
And they have the memento on it, and it looks really good. I love red and gold, and I can't imagine there's probably some movement on here as well. So I'm in. You got me, Bungie. I'm definitely going to play it. How long? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it looks like on my weapons. But here's the thing. Remember last year they weighted all of the medals depending on the player, I guess the percentage of player characters, because I think Hunters got a nerf because there was a lot of Hunters in Crucible and stuff. Well, they're doing it a little differently this year. Well, one thing I want to mention, the champ title is if you look through your triumphs, you can get the champ title again if you didn't get it last year. Just look at your triumphs to get, just like when you're getting any title. They do have a event card. If you want to buy it, I'm sure it's $10. And they have to unlock the tickets to unlock the extra goodies they have in there. Well, the Guardian Games Cup will be returning this year, and for the third year in a row, we're celebrating Guardian Games Cup across the globe from March 5th, 9 a.m., reset basically, until March 26th. Players can compete for glory in-game while also supporting direct relief for the International Rescue Committee through the Bungie Foundation. You'll need a fire team of up to 6 members to participate in one or both of the available categories. You first have the technical category, which tracks the total number of medallions dunked by each official registered team during Guardian Games All-Stars. And then you have the charitable category, which tracks the total donation amount raised by each team throughout the event. Interesting. The top 4 teams in each category, 8 teams in total, will win some prizes. First place will get a life-size All-Star Vector Skimmer replica. Wow. With their names engraved in them.
Whoa.
That's pretty top tier. The top 2 teams in each category will win a Guardian Games medal. It's a $50 MSRP for each team member. The top 3 teams in each category win binary Cascade emblem codes for each team member. The top 4 teams in each category win a Bungie Store $50 discount code for each team member. And as an extra incentive, all players that donate $10 or more to their favorite teams will earn an amazing and brand new Together in Contribution emblem. I gotta admit, it's very earthy, but it's different.
I like it.
It's different. It's totally different than last year's. Last year was very flashy and shiny. This is like very natural looking. I don't know. I like this.
I like it.
I'm going to donate $10. Come on, man.
Yeah.
It's a good cause.
I got the shirt.
Yeah.
I got the shirt from Maui.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, anytime the Bundy Foundation has something going, I'm usually donating to it. So this is the one thing they changed this year. And I wanted to make sure I mention this before we go. Population imbalance has always been a hot issue with the scoring methods, and we've always weighted these in the spirit of fairness. This year, we're taking a different approach. Each day, class scores will be measured by the average medallion score of all players who deposited a medallion that day, separated by class, of course. Our hope is that this will make your contributions feel more meaningful and that the overall competition is less dependent or hard to understand population weighting or catch-up mechanics. So if that is the case, I would probably get your 3 diamonds and deposit them. I mean, if they're going by average, measured by the average medallion score of all players. So they're using an average instead of a numerical total. So okay. So I follow this. Okay, I follow this now. So Warlocks, I'm talking to you guys for a second here. Titans, Hunters, take a hike. We got to get those diamond medals and we got to deposit them every week. So
I don't care if you fall asleep to a Destiny streamer, you're getting that goddamn diamond medal.
Get it. I'll find you. I will. Okay.
Absolutely.
I've said my piece. Okay. What do you think, man? I mean, well, the one thing I can say is they have definitely given rewards this year. I mean, not just the skin, but the memento, the heavy wave grenade launcher. What do you think? Is this going to entice you to play all 3 weeks?
I'm excited about the heavy wave. That's going to be a lot of fun. I am partial to my void waves in regular grenade launchers in Crucible because that's just. There was a period there where you could just pop one of those, strip shields, swap to an SMG, and just rock. But I mean it was also great in ad control, especially in like dares. You pop a couple of those off as you drop it in. That just clears out a room. So a heavy version of that and Volt Shot and Chain Reaction, that's going to be a mess.
Yeah.
That is going to make a mess of some rooms, especially in dares.
Well, I mean, the fact that I don't have a heavy wave grenade launcher.
Right. I don't did they have one before?
Yeah, they did. It was from, I don't remember how they said, it was only one. There's only one out there from in the past. So I'm sure people are yelling at their podcast player right now. Come on, Gator, get it together, man. Well, you know what that one is. I don't know what it is. I know there was one out there that was offered. I think it was a dungeon.
Oh, then I don't have it.
I don't run a ton of dungeons. I mean, I've run every dungeon, but I don't run them a lot. So, yeah.
I am a Crucible goblin.
I think Panda's crying right now because I don't run enough dungeons.
I got to do more.
One important thing for us PlayStation Plus members out there is Witch Queen is one of the free games this for the whole month of March. So if you have someone who's playing on PlayStation, has PlayStation Plus, this is the time, man. It's free. It's a free expansion right here. The whole Witch Queen expansion, which I imagine comes with all the weapons and stuff you can unlock. Hell yeah, man. Witch Queen is one of my favorite expansions. That story, man.
That was a great story.
It was well done.
Great final boss. And
the way the campaign was put together with the normal mode and then the legend mode. Man, I played a ton of hours of that, didn't you? Yeah.
I played a lot of it, yeah.
I did too. And then of course the final story at the end of that season was just outstanding.
Yeah.
Whew.
But that's a great way. Yeah. That's a great way to get somebody that that normally doesn't play into it. Like, hey, play this campaign. This is the good one.
I mean, it's sad we can't tell people to go play Red War because it's not available.
I know.
Bungie, I just still don't understand that. I know I'm beating a dead horse on that subject, but come on. I mean, but if you were to introduce someone who hasn't played in a while and is coming back, Witch Queen's definitely a good one to throw at them.
Oh, absolutely.
And have them try. So, and there's a ton of content there, guys. Ton of content. So get it. You got till the end of the month. PlayStation Plus members. MrBrightside, I have a question for you, though, sir, before we head out from the TWAB here. What is going on with the player support report this week, man?
Shit's broken, yeah.
There it is. The man has spoken. All right, that's it, guys. That is it for the TWAB this week. Cosmo, I see your kitty pick. Thank you for the TWAB this week, sir. Destiny community team. Thank you, everyone. Great TWAB. I'm looking forward to Guardian games next week, and probably over the next 3 weeks, it'll keep me busy doing something. And, my God, I'll probably be playing Crucible, to be honest. I cannot wait for these Crucible changes, and I can't wait to start testing stuff out and seeing how the sandbox is changing next week. So don't miss it, y'all. Don't miss it.
Howdy folks, this is MC Squared and you're listening to Guardian Downcast.
Well, today I'm going to share 2 short lore entries that I really liked reading in the latest Grimmer anthology book from Bungie. I now have all 6 volumes, and the thing I really like about these anthology series is that each volume has a distinct theme in them. In this latest book, Volume 6, Partners in Light, it's all stories from the ghost perspective, and it really was eye-opening for me to learn about these little orbs that sit over our shoulder in game. If you want to read these lore entries yourself, you can purchase all 6 volumes from Amazon or from the Bungie store itself. They usually have sales going on too. Or you can go to the Ishtar Collective website and look them up. It's ishtar-collective.net if you want to visit the site. Okay, this first entry opened my eyes to the fact that when the ghosts were sent down from the Traveler after the collapse, they were in danger as much as anyone else was in that time. In this story, no ghost ever wants to end up in this predicament. So here is Ghost Hunter. The speaker's warnings were clear. Always mind the light. Even if you feel it fraying, you've strayed too far. There are places even the Traveler's light cannot reach. Now here I am, lost in the shadowy pistache known as the Reef, and not a single tether of light touches me. But that is what my guardian wanted. His name is Cyrell, and Cyrell called me Strain. I found him on the far edges of Mercury in a valley that the Vex transformation had never reached. He seemed resilient, unwavering, old, and wise. I'd searched so long for my better half that I didn't even hesitate. If I had considered but one moment more, I might have sensed how tired and burdened and tangled his soul truly was. And I would have left him in peace. And I would not be a murderer of my kin. Cyrell told me we came to the Reef in search of Awoken. He had heard stories of how this far-flung offshoot of humanity had returned to Sol with unparalleled knowledge. He believed that they had the answer to a question he refused to share. I know now, however, that he really came here to spare me. He confessed he could not bear another battle, nor fight in the name of something no one could possibly understand. Though he could not remember his past, he knew deep down that he had already fought his last war. He couldn't kill me. I was his friend. He doesn't kill friends. He wouldn't kill himself either. That was cowardly, weak. And if the ghost's sole purpose was to raise the dead, to kill in the name of unexplainable forces, he could no longer let that happen. He would end the cycle. He would spare his brothers and sisters in arms. He would let the dead rest. Years later, I saw Cyrell again, clad in wretched-looking armor, dragging a chain of dead ghosts in the name of peace. Still searching for an Awoken who could answer that one question that was haunting him since his rebirth. If you are a ghost who has not yet found your chosen, let this be a warning. Cyrell, the Ghost Hunter, will end your search for you. If you are awoken and perchance have the answer he seeks, please, do not keep your secrets from him. Your life depends on it. The second lore entry explained why ghosts were not perfect beings, and in fact, act very much like us Guardians do. each has its own personality, ethics, and conscience, as you'll hear from me now in The Chosen's Choice. She focuses herself to resurrect him once more, only this time she hesitates. She looks around, taking in the human carnage surrounding her. She thinks back to their arrival into this village, how its population lauded him and showered him with gifts, begging him to stay, to defend them, to keep them safe. At first, he seemed reluctant, but the longer he remained and the more fallen he slew, the more they praised him. That praise emboldened him. He grew expectant, addicted to their exaltations and gifts. The more he consumed, the more the village's resources dwindled. He led expeditions to take from others. No warning, no diplomacy. He showed his might as one of the risen and demanded he be lauded as savior. Those he once protected now died under his charge, and they venerated him all the more for it. As much as she tried to guide him back into the light and remind him why he was chosen, he could not hear over the adulations of his newfound vassals. Resurrection after resurrection, his legend flourished while the dead remained dead. He grew ever more covetous and unforgiving. He stopped learning from his losses and came to feel entitled to his immortality. One winter night, clad in golden armor, he made war on a seaside settlement of fishers and spiritualists. Not a man, woman, or child survived. Flushed with the high of easy victory, he and his followers were ill prepared for the fallen war party that had been stalking them the last few moons. It was a massacre atop a massacre, and only he, one of the chosen, would walk away from this. She looks away from the human carnage surrounding her, looks down upon the one she chose, his golden armor, dulled with the blood of his victims and his adorers, still reflects back to her the light of her single eye. He made his choice, and thus, so will she. She turns her eye away from him, away from herself, and floats eastward toward the rising light. I would imagine that when ghosts choose their, quote, chosen ones and make them a risen, that some become heroic guardians fighting for the light. Some become Iron Lords or great leaders like Zavala. But others become barons. Those barons that you hear in lore entries where the Iron Lords would pledge to protect civilians from down the road. So not all choices made by ghosts were pure or perfect back then. And as you just heard, decisions were made to correct those decisions, right? Well, I hope you enjoyed these 2 lore entries, and if you guys like these lore entries, let me know, and I might mention a few more down the road before we hit final shape. Hey Guardians, would you like to send a question for the show to us? There are 4 ways to do it. First, you can join our Discord server at discord.gg/GuardianDownCast. There's also a join link in our show notes down below. We have Guardians from all walks of life and all over the world, from new lights to day one players to hardcore gamers. There's also a channel labeled Podcast Questions where you can type in your question for the show. So come hang out with us. You can also email us with your question at guardiandowncast@gmail.com, or we also occasionally post about our upcoming show and guest, and you can respond there with your question at Guardian_D_cast is our X handle. Finally, you can send us a voicemail with your question at guardiandowncast.com, and we might play it on the podcast. Think of it as talking with us right on the show. Thanks for listening, and later, Guardian. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of our show where we get our questions from you guys. So we got a few Destiny questions this week I want to make sure we answer. And MrBrightside, definitely chime in here even if they select her to me. Looks like some people are calling me out, it seems. We'll start with the first one here. Is a gun. When or if is Destiny 3 going to come out?
You know, we were talking about that earlier a little bit, touched on that, but like, I'm definitely of the opinion that like, if it does not go gangbusters for Final Shape, Sony is they're not gonna pull, they're gonna draw down on this and they're gonna recommit elsewhere.
You think so?
I genuinely think so. I think if Final Shape doesn't do the numbers that Sony wants, I think you're gonna see a drawdown in staff and they're gonna lean more on Marathon. Wow. That's my prediction on that.
Okay. I respect that, but I respectfully disagree. I think Marathon, I really hope Marathon does well. I do.
I do too. It looks awesome.
It's an extraction shooter. And I think, isn't Helldivers, isn't that an extraction shooter?
Sorta.
Okay.
There are extraction shooter missions.
Okay. Well, I mean, I really hope they do well. I really do, man. I really hope Marathon's a blast. I mean, just from seeing I had that song from Marathon from the trailer in my head for a month. It was such a great, man, their music is just it's just on point.
Well, I mean, after the unpleasantness, yeah.
Oh, of course. But the fashion, I mean, everything about that game just
that game looks awesome.
It looks exciting. And a lot of their PvP team is currently working on it. So, I think that's the reason PvP has dwindled a little bit in Destiny 2, but they're coming back. They're making changes. Okay. Destiny 3. It's always a loaded question, but
I remember back when they were launching Destiny 1, they didn't even want to do Destiny 2. They wanted to do one continuous evolution of story that you could go, and that has not panned out the way they wanted.
Yeah.
So I think they're trying it with Destiny 2, but they're running into the same problems again.
Well, if you remember back in Destiny 1, was it Destiny 1? I think Activision, Activision still owned them. Yeah.
Activision bought them out right after,
was it Destiny 2?
I think they bought them out before that, shortly after their split from Microsoft.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
They were reacquired. They were acquired by Activision Blizzard.
Yep. Well, they went independent and then they immediately ran to Activision Blizzard.
Activision.
They needed the help from the studios and stuff. But that makes sense because that's when Forsaken came out, man. My God, what a great expansion.
That was a good one.
I was blown away. Just everything. So much change in Forsaken. I think I had almost a nervous breakdown the first day looking at everything flashing at me from all the new stuff, from triumphs to bounties to mods. I mean, it was like, did you ever see scanners? It was like my head was about to melt, man. I was like, I don't know what to do. There's too much stuff flashing at me.
I came in at Shadowkeep, so like all that stuff was kind of there.
That's right.
But like, I played that campaign and that campaign was great.
Yeah, it was good. It's good. Yeah.
That was definitely one of their best ones.
Destiny 3, I think this is how I see it going down. Okay. I think they're already working on Destiny 3 right now. I've said it in the past. I think there's a skeleton crew running Destiny. I think Final Shape, there's a good sized part of your team running that. You have probably a small crew that's running patches and stuff. You have your seasonal activity team that, comes up with all the new weapons and stuff for like Guardian games coming up right now. Then I think, you have a block that are jumping over to Marathon, but I think there's another block that's already working on the next game. Everyone I've talked to and a lot of people I've listened to from Destiny 2 has been crying out, including me, that I think it's time we need a refresh. We need a refresh. I think it's the only thing that's going to keep Destiny going. I think the episodes will be a good knot to tie in the final bow of Destiny 2. But here's what I'm worried about. I think what's going to happen is I think Marathon's going to be the focus of attention in 2025. And then maybe we'll start hearing something about a Destiny 3 in 2026. Maybe fall of 2025. because Marathon is supposed to come out probably the first part of 2025. That's my guess. And you know me, man, I'm huffing on the copium because I'm a total Bungie fanboy. So take that how you may.
I'm going to give you a little insight because here's what I did. I kind of got a sense of what they're doing because I followed their job listings on LinkedIn.
That's a good thing. And
I can see exactly what they list, what game you would be working on.
Right.
So I'm seeing like a pretty heavy skew towards Destiny weapons designers.
Right.
Looks like they're going to be looking into that. And I mean, there's Marathon all over the place.
Of course.
But like, there's a lot of Destiny art and weapons designers up and running. So I think there's going to be some refresh coming in the form of the gunplay coming up.
Okay.
Because, when they're talking design.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's going to be some new stuff they're going to throw at us. So,
okay.
I mean,
I think maybe they'll keep up the, this is really bold, and usually when I have bold predictions, I usually fall very short of what actually happens, just from past experience and speculation. But they may have a team that continues to put out the episodes with little mini stories, being that this is the way they're doing seasons from now on. They maybe continue episodes through 2025. Well, of course, they're going to overflow a little because of the delay, and then maybe we'll hear something at the Game Awards in late 2025 going into 2026.
Well, they're going to have to. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, and that's fine. I want Bungie to take their time. I want them, the next thing they make, it needs to be big. It needs to be fresh. It needs to be fresh. 10 years. And remember they said at the beginning of Destiny, this is going to be a 10-year project, 10-year game. Well, guess
they
what?
weren't kidding.
We're at 10 years. So
yeah, they weren't joking.
And one thing that I at least hope comes behind the scenes is that they have some type of timeline or plan behind any game they make. So who knows, man? I'm just a fanboy, but that is my hope, is that they continue to keep us involved in Destiny 2. And I'm afraid we'll probably lose a lot of players, but believe me, they always got their ear to the ground. And as soon as the Game Awards come out 2025 and we hear a little, or we see a little teaser about the next Destiny, in a totally different universe or something, we'll be right back in it, man.
I don't think it's going to be a totally different universe. I don't know how the universe is going to look after the final shape.
Yeah. Well, see, my hope was that they would go Destiny Online. That was my original hope, is that they would bring all the Destiny 1 stuff and just throw it into one giant online service game, and we could craft all these things any way we wanted. We could craft all the armor and stuff any way we wanted. But I guess that was too grandiose a projection for Bungie, or maybe they just had other things in mind, other direction they were going to go with it. So it's, of course, all speculation, but I have nothing to back up my bullshit speculation. So,
well, here's something I've learned about Bungie over the years, is that they have these very weird quirks about how they do things. Like, do you know why it used to take a long time to load into the tower? It's because they loaded the model for every single gun in your vault.
Right, I remember that.
Into the game before you load it in.
Yep.
So that's what affected loadout space. So, you don't know quite how it's built in the back end to be able to predict. Like, when they started doing the Destiny content vault, I kind of understood, because the game was already at 100 gigs, and you're going to try to maintain and service that. Expand that.
If you downloaded the latest COD, it's much bigger than that. And there's games that are even bigger than that. I think what's holding Destiny 3 back right now is they have to, and no offense to our brothers and sisters who play on PS4s and Xbox Ones, but I think they need to build the next game for the next console. I'm talking the next PS5, the next PS6. I think they have to be looking that far in advance.
Well, the 6 is how far off? The 6 is what, 2026?
They've already said that the PS5 is at its mature stage now. That's from Sony.
Yeah, Sony was talking in court docs from the antitrust case with Microsoft.
Right.
They even said they were like PlayStation 6 in 2026, and I'm like, I didn't even know we were getting the 5 yet. I didn't know those were available yet.
And Xbox seems to be going to more accessibility across the board versus console domination.
Microsoft has got I think they've got the right idea where they can both be an independent publisher and a hardware platform at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I am also of the opinion, because I only got back into console stuff like not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because I picked up an old Xbox One for $70.
Nice.
And yeah, so I threw that up there, and like, that because of the way Microsoft has everything set up now, that console was 10 years ahead of its time.
Mm.
Easily. Because Microsoft understands that these are not just video game consoles anymore. These are home entertainment consoles.
Yeah.
They do everything. Mine, primarily a streaming adapter for, whatever the kids want to have on in the background.
Right.
But like, it does everything. And Microsoft understands that they can make a machine like that caters to a wider range of people, and also people that want to play games on it. But they're also getting people that don't want to buy the Xbox console because they have the cloud gaming.
Right.
And if you already own a PlayStation, we're going to start releasing on that. They are everywhere now.
Yeah.
I think they know what they're doing.
I think they realize if they're more available everywhere as an independent publisher, they don't have to be number one in consoles anymore because they're making money from other avenues. But it's out there for their console sales, I never understood the console wars because I always owned both.
I don't get it either.
I always owned both. I bought the Xbox One Day One edition. You remember it was always online. You had to have that damn camera always on all the time. It freaked me out.
Oh, the Kinect. Yeah.
Yes.
They disabled that.
Yes. Oh, I know they did eventually. As soon as they did, I unplugged that thing and threw it in the closet. But, I remember the always on. It was handled so poorly back then. But it was. It didn't launch great. No.
But the features of that console are things that like you look at now and you're like, oh, well, that was a good idea.
The UI, the platform UI is very simple to use. It flows very well. And so does the PlayStation. I like both of them for different reasons. But yeah, I think Destiny 3, I think they have to be already working toward maybe a real engine, not the old Tiger engine. I think that's going to be finally retired. They're going to have to go into something they can advance further in the future. Whereas the Tiger seems to be so modified these days just to keep up with what it's taken care of. And I know I've heard developers even say from Bungie that the Tiger engine is very powerful and that it's been modified and improved so many times, but it's like Call of Duty, man. They were using that old engine forever. And then now people are saying they're using the engine they went to after the, Quake. They used the old Quake engine forever in Call of Duty.
Well, they were using the updated IdTech 5, I think it was.
Yeah.
IdTech, listen, the IdTech engine has always been a very, very capable engine.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to shout out Helldivers again and call them out because do you know what engine their game is based on?
I have no clue. What are they using?
Autodesk Stingray.
What?
It was discontinued in 2009.
I've never heard of it.
It was something else. Then Autodesk bought it, and it became Stingray.
Wow!
And they ceased. They stopped updating. They stopped support for it.
Right.
In 2019, I think it was. So the devs at Arrowhead have been modifying and hacking this engine.
That is crazy.
For years on their own, and this game is now handling up to 700,000 concurrent players.
That is nuts.
It's insane what they did over there. So, like, I know you can squeeze a lot out of old technology. Trust me. I have a pile of electronics that I have repurposed that are testament. But these guys, what they did over there is, Sony's going to be starting to pick talent out of Arrowhead, and I think they're going to start dropping them into other studios they own.
Okay. That's way above my pay grade. I don't know. I don't know anything about engines, or I'm not technically advanced enough to know anything about that.
It was crazy. The fact that they're using a discontinued engine has everybody baffled.
That is crazy. Yeah, when you said Autodesk, I'm like, geez, wasn't that from long ago?
Autodesk is a bane of my existence.
I mean, I don't even remember Helldivers 1. I think
nobody does because it only had 7,000 concurrent players at its peak.
And look at it now.
It was a top-down twin-stick shooters in the first one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a top-down twin-stick shooter, and now it's a third-person absolute Vietnam simulator.
That's crazy.
Is
it over the shoulder or is it full third person?
Kind of. Well, all right. It's a little over the shoulder. It's not over the shoulder. It's full third person.
Okay.
But when you sight in, it goes over the shoulder.
Okay.
But if you click the zoom on the right thumbstick,
no shit,
it goes first person.
Holy shit. It goes all three.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is all three.
It's pretty cool. No, Gator. No.
I'm sorry.
No, I can't do it. Let's move on.
You're going to be going to Salute by the end of the week.
No, I can't do it. No, Panda has a question. Question for the salty SOB Crucible main. Oh, he must be talking about me. What's the most frustrating thing you face in the Crucible, and how do you counter it?
Sweats.
Oh, I think he's wanting more specifics. I mean, here's the thing about Crucible. And the faster you can solve this problem, Panda, and this was probably one of the last things I had to really learn in Crucible, and map awareness, and not only map awareness, but team awareness. Knowing where your team is spawning is so important, man. I mean, there'd be many times where I would hold down an area and then finally realize that there's nobody left on my team here. And you can say, yeah, you just sit in the back of the map and just pot shot. I'm like, bullshit. I'm right in the middle of the action. And if I'm got a sightline covered and I'm holding down an area where people are trying to flank, then I turn around and there's red bars all around me. That's the hardest thing to learn in Crucible, is knowing when to get effing moving. When your team's losing battles and you're losing your teammates around you, you have to have the quick determination and, more importantly, quick decision making to haul ass and get back onto the right side of the map. Because when the spawn flips on you, man, the hardest, he asked what the hardest thing is. It's team shots, man. Team shots is the hardest thing to counter in Destiny 2. Even with the changes coming next week, where we're going to get more 30 more health on our characters, and headshots are going to be more important than ever. It doesn't matter when you have two people shooting at you at the same time. It's not like Call of Duty where you can mow two people down in a gunfight. A 2v1 is not very favorable in Destiny. And that's the one thing I have the hardest time countering, is knowing when I should get my ass moving and transitioning to another part of the map where you can protect and work with your team. That's the hardest thing to counter in Destiny, for me at least. Yeah. And it showed in, when we played really, really hard teams in the, Potato Thumbs podcast, Crucible League, when you played very good teams, the one thing they were so good at doing is sticking together. And they fired as one giant gun at you, and they just melted over us. And that's the hardest thing to learn, is moving with your team. So there you go, Panda. If there's one thing I could tell you to start working on that will vastly improve your game and your outcomes and your stats and everything, is knowing when to have that map awareness to get back with your team and not to separate from your team. It's an old Call of Duty habit I have, is to try to flank, because when you flank in Call of Duty, you could get away with it. You could shoot 3 or 4 people dead before they even knew what was happening, because the time to kill was so fast. But it's just not that way in Destiny. You can't get away with that. If you're a god tier player, maybe you can take 2 out before you finally die, maybe even 3, but it's not in your favor. So that's the hardest thing to counter. And it's why as soon as you get a pick in trials, a good team will immediately push, because they know 3 guns is always going to beat 2 in a 3v3 game. So it's the hardest thing to learn.
It is.
So. Thanks for the question, Panda. Speaking of which, he has another one here. Question for the show. We've seen a few styles of build crafting, old school, subclass setup, Warmind cells, etc. So what's your preferred build crafting system Destiny has seen.
Oh man, I miss the Warmind cells.
Yeah, you were just saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was so much fun. Just pop those things all day. There was, I mean, like I said, I had an Aquilos 1.02 that was Dragonfly that spawned Warmind cells, and if you had the, I don't remember the exact mods, but like the mods that you could have would just turn them into absolute ad clear monsters, and it was the only reason I got through some of the hunts in Beyond Light.
Oh yeah. It was very powerful.
Even though they were out of style at that point too, they were just still so effective even good, after the nerfs.
Blow up that Warmind cell. It just felt awesome.
Yeah, you felt like a tiny god.
It's like an orbital strike in the in Helldivers, right?
Yeah. It was, I mean,
I know a little bit about it. I've been watching streams. of it.
Oh, so much fun.
When build crafting really got hot with Witch Queen is when I really loved the Void Wells build. Remember the Wells of Light would drop? Remember the Wells of Light would drop? I had some really crazy builds with my Void subclass where I was just unkillable. And I would play Wellspring all the time with this build. And it was just, the wells were just falling everywhere. And then you'd had a mod where the wells would seek you. You wouldn't have to go to them. That was my favorite build crafting system, and they took it away.
That was good.
I missed that.
That was good.
I missed that. Wells. Yeah.
Seeking Wells was fun.
It was fun. Yeah, that was mine. Okay. One more Destiny question here from New Mod. Tag me, please. That would be Nico, aka Jersey. Question for the show. Should there be more character slots? Seems archaic to only have 3. Use this for guest appearances since myself and Gator kind of talked about it. This on the DL in our podcast recording. What do you think, Mr. Brightside? Should
no, definitely. I think because, like having one slot per character, I would definitely like to play like a human warlock or something. See, because I don't know all of the custom dialogue that you get. Right. That, like you go near, like as an EXO, you go near, Rahul every now and then. He'll be like, oh, the EXO are the greatest mystery. And I'm like, I don't know. Does that show up for other non-EXO players or not?
I do not know.
I would love to see how things play out differently with the same main class with different races, different combinations, see how it plays. Because, effectively, the races are just cosmetic.
Right.
But I would definitely but it all kind of becomes a moot point if you can, if they give us the ability to change our appearance.
Well, they've changed it a little bit. It's still not fully, autonomous, but, we did talk about this part, and he could be talking about subclass slots too, but I think he's talking about more of EXO, human, and awoken right now. He's asking if there's another race or something. And I heard what you said on that. So who knows, man? Who knows what's going to happen in the future of Destiny? There could always be more characters, but I would like to see another actual subclass.
Yeah, a 6 subclass would be nice.
Would be nice.
I thought that was coming.
Right.
I thought they said that was coming.
The red subclass everyone keeps talking about.
Yeah, the alleged red subclass.
Right. And then also another type of Guardian. I've talked about in the past how there'd be nice to have a more support-based Guardian that could throw out heavy ammo all the time and keep people equipped.
Oh, that would be
I used to do that all the time in Battlefield. I love supplying my guys behind the lines, and you get points and stuff for it too. It's not like you were just throwing it out there and people were getting benefits without you getting anything. I've always liked a support class, especially in raids and stuff, on higher level stuff. You could even use it in PvP with certain limitations. Obviously, you can't give unlimited heavy ammo, but you could give them benefits or something, give them better aim assist for 10 seconds or, give them actually assign buffs to your teammates. The possibilities are endless.
Empowering, but give even give warlocks more rifts.
Yeah. Knowing the Destiny community, they would totally milk that too. And then there'd be people yelling and screaming and it's unbalanced and overpowered and they'd have to, I don't know, man. I mean, we've all been down this road before. But yeah, there you go, Nico. Great question. All right, before we go, let's grab a couple non-Destiny questions here. We only have 23 of them.
Oh, okay.
This is the ones we had never got to earlier in our years of podcasting. Oda has quite a few. Let's just start with this one from the top. If you were in a mech, locked in a room with Chuck Norris, how long would you survive?
All right. So we're gonna have to consider what kind of mech here. Are we talking Gundam, or are we talking like personal? Like, am I talking like the loader suit from Alien?
I think he's probably referring more to like a think of Titanfall 2 mech.
Okay.
Let's assume that's what he's talking about.
So if I'm in a Titan, there's absolutely no chance in hell Chuck Norris stands, because I don't care how hard that man thinks he can kick, he cannot stop a 50 cal round to the face.
And he's getting older too.
He's old.
Yeah.
He's old as hell.
Yeah, exactly. Another question from Oda Yukamura. Question for the show. Imagine being an NPC shop owner in Skyrim and the player character put a bucket on your head. What expensive OP game breaking item are they stealing from you? Oh man, I have not played enough of this game to tell you. Do you have an idea?
I've never played. I have managed to go like, what is it, 20 years since Skyrim. I've never played it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Never played it.
Can't help you there.
I have no interest. I played Oblivion. I do not care for Elder Scrolls games, so.
Nico probably could have helped you with this one, being a World of Warcraft guy.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, bud. Hades. Question for the show. Just seems apparently I'm a show contributor in the GDC complaints department. Let me read that. Let me just read this again. English. Question for the show from Hades. Just seen, apparently I'm a show contributor in the Guardian Downcast complaints department. What's the most what the F tag do you have?
I'll let you field that one.
Yeah, I have to grasp this question.
It's like a Chuck Grassley tweet.
Apparently I'm a show contributor and I think he meant in the Guardian Downcast complaints department. What's the most WTF tag you have? So is he wanting a role? Is that what he wants? He wants a role tag? If he's a GDC complaint department contributor? So, I don't know. Hades, I'll have to DM you on that one, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't know how to answer that question. Yeah. Hades, question for the show. Why is Coke, the cola, not the sniffy stuff, Gator, better from a glass bottle than plastic one?
Microplastics. It's got to be microplastics. That's got to be the answer.
Well, I mean, I remember.
No, the real question is, why does Coke taste so much better from McDonald's than anywhere else?
Because they double up the syrup, I'm sure.
Something like that.
McDonald's is all about getting you back there to buy more food. It's the same reason why they have the fries with sugar in it. You know they put sugar on those fries.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a slight amount, just enough, and then add the salt, the salty sweet. I'm telling you, it's why McDonald's fries are so addictive. I mean, I would say probably because, the microplastics, I can see what you mean there, but maybe because it's glass, maybe they can concentrate the actual syrup better, or maybe they mix the syrup better in glass bottles. I used to drink from glass bottles too. Used to get them out of vending machines.
The other thing is, the glass bottles typically come out of Mexico, and Mexico does not subsidize corn syrup the same way we do, so they use cane sugar.
Oh,
and cane sugar tastes way different. So that's what it's supposed to taste like.
There you go. Maybe that's the answer.
We're getting screwed here.
I'm sure.
What's happening?
Well, I mean, I can't stand going to any of these fast food joints that you can tell they've really watered down their soft drinks.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell right away that Coke Zero doesn't taste as good from some places as another. And that's a 0-calorie soda. So,
yeah.
Coke Zero, vanilla cherry. Coke Zero is the best, by the way. Fight me. Okay. Brittany.
See, I'm one of those people that can taste stevia, so zero. No.
I haven't had many drinks with stevia in it. I'm a big sucralose guy. And when it comes to diet drinks, I could not. Yeah. There's no way I could drink full sugar soda. I would be so overweight. I would because I drink them all the time. Same with tea, with iced green tea with ginger, lemon in it.
That's good.
So it sounds good. Question for the Floridian biker: how do you carry a Mackey's coffee on a manual motorbike? It's a 30-second ride across a retail park. If that helps.
What?
Well, for one thing, you would carry it in an anti-spill insulated mug. But if you're buying it from like Starbucks in their containers with the lid on top, I don't think there's any way you could ride a motor. I mean, I can ride a motorcycle with one hand, but let's see. Let me think here. Yeah, 30-second drive, you could do it. You just you would hold the coffee on your lap, and you would drive with your right hand on the handlebars, and that way you can give it throttle, and you got your shifter down. No, clutch. If you know how to shift a clutch right, you could fake shift a clutch without having to actually pull the clutch lever. If you get the synchro mesh timed, you could do it too. But if it's only a 30-second ride across the retail park, you just leave it in first. If you absolutely have to get the coffee across.
Yeah, you can just go slow. I mean, it's not.
Where do these questions come from? I just wonder what Hades is thinking when he asks these questions.
No, you're right. Do you remember the Harry Carey sketch from Saturday Night Live with what's his name, Will Ferrell?
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking with this. Is, hey Norm, if you were a hot dog and you were starving, would you eat yourself?
Exactly.
Oh, would that be delicious? Like
exactly.
These are the questions.
Average Destiny 2 player, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Everyone asks that just to see if I'll trip up, I guess. Just got to read slow. That's all you got to do. But, okay. Mr. Brightside, what's the answer?
Well, woodchuck can't chuck wood, so it's a false premise.
There you go. Let's get one more from Oda. Why not? He's got a lot of good questions in here. Wow. Some of these questions are just out there. All right, let's go with this one. This is what we'll go out on. If you could wear one type of footwear for all eternity, yes, even after death in heaven or whatever you believe in, what would it be?
You know what? I'm going to go controversial. I'm going to say a pair of Crocs. I'm going to be comfortable.
Dude, I
don't care.
You know what? Dude, I'm not far behind you. Here's the thing. I actually bought Crocs rain boots. They're full boots. I wear these when I'm treating lawns some days because god damn, they're comfortable.
Yeah.
They are so comfortable and are so good for your feet. They, I don't know. They're just so comfortable to wear. And when you're walking on grass, you feel like you're almost barefoot walking through the grass. Yeah. It's so nice. So yeah, I'd be right there with you, man. It'd probably be some, I would probably say my Crocs rain boots because, then I can wear them anywhere. Any situation I'd be covered. Regular Crocs, this is full closed toe, nothing open. There's no vents. That's full closed toe. But here's the thing though, they never really get hot inside either. So, all right, one more. Oda has one more here. We'll get this one knocked out. I'm trying to get this channel knocked out. Question for the show. Where in your body do you feel emotions? Where in your body do you feel emotions? Oh, that's easy for me.
Generally my chest.
For me, it's my stomach, the vagal nerve, the vagus nerve. When I get nervous or excited, it's always in my stomach.
Nah, it's like dead in my chest.
Right in the chest?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, like if it's like anger, it's going to be like, it's going to be right there.
Even anger, it'd still be my stomach. No. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good to know. A lot of people are different. Good to know. All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks for your questions. If you want to send us a question, it doesn't have to be Destiny related. Go to our podcast questions channel in our Discord under the pod section of our Discord. And we have a non-Destiny questions where you can enter those, and in Destiny questions like Panda and others did this week. So our Destiny questions are empty. So if you got a question for the show on Destiny, definitely throw them in there as well. All right. Mr. Fudd, play that intro music, sir.
Listen to the Guardian Downcast. Oh, it's a playlist. Yes. Oh, and I've heard they've won awards for it and such.
Thank you, Mr. Fudd. Hope you're doing well. This is the final segment of our show. This is where we pick our song for our award-winning Guardian Downcast show playlist. A little sample of what myself and our guests listen to, and we invite you to listen to it as well. Just search for Guardian Downcast show playlist on Spotify. We have our podcast there too. This is a separate playlist, and it's also on Apple Music if you use the Apple products out there. The links will be in the show notes down below if you ever want to follow along and sample what we're picking every week. I just usually hit shuffle and see what pops up. It's always a great song. We now have 1,184 songs representing all of us and all of our past guests. It's the songs we've been picking since our show started back in July of 2019. So it's been a while. We've been doing it for quite a while now. So I'll go to you first, Mr. Brightside. What song did you pick tonight for our song of the week, and why, sir?
So I went with another Jersey native, not intentionally, but Thursday, Standing on the Edge of Summer. That song goes back a while, and it always reminds me of, just better times with my friends and stuff. And, and it also does, kind of force you to remember that, nothing ever lasts forever, even the good stuff, even the bad stuff. So appreciate the things as they come and let them wash through you as they are, and to just appreciate the moment.
Well said.
That's all you're ever going to get.
Yeah. Well said, man. Yeah, I love music because it snaps me back to when I first heard it. And it's just a good way to solidify a good memory, in the past.
Yeah.
So, speaking of which, I am going to enter one more song from my childhood. I know we're in March already, but I'm going to enter one more here. Today's pick is actually from an Australian band. Back when they were invading the pop rock scene, back in the 80s, middle to late 80s, this band was actually formed in 72, but they didn't really become popular until their Diesel and Dust album landed in the US in 87. In 87, I'm looking back, I was just out of high school. I was going to a community college right before transferring to University of Florida a year later. So this song has nearly 300 million plays on Spotify alone. And this group has sold over 20 million albums up to 2021 so far. And they're still touring today. The song I chose from this album actually informed the world on the plight of the indigenous Australians back then. The song's Beds Are Burning, and it's from the band Midnight Oil. Some of you may remember this pop hit. Very impressionable song of my youth. And back then, it was very well played. Played quite a bit. Very popular song. So check it out. And it'll be in our playlist too if you want to hear it. Hey Guardians, would you like to give back to our community? If you received any value from today's podcast episode and would like to give back, head over to our website, GuardianDowncast.com, and select the Patreon button to see what extra perks and benefits you can get from the several tiers of membership available. If you would like to give a one-time donation, click on our PayPal button and follow the prompts. Our community runs on our membership, and we never accept outside sponsors or advertisers. We're Guardian Downcast. Your stories, your community, your destiny. Just want to give a shout out to our patrons of the show. All of our patrons, thank you for helping giving back to our community. But we have a new patron I want to give a shout out to. King Tut just became a fist bump patron. So welcome, sir. Welcome to the lounge in the Discord. thank you to everybody who, like I said, gives back. A shout out to our Dungeon Champion patrons. That would be Smiter, Technical, Wicked Trinity, Deadpool 1 Merc. And thank you to our Raid Boss patrons. That's Jealous, Frostbite, Tilted Tim. Sorry, Tim. Laz has got to make a buck. I'm sorry, brother. Amazon, Amazing Taco King. Shit, maybe I'll have to have Laz talk to him too. Sith Daddy Fresh and Nico, aka Jersey, for giving back to the show and community. Thank you, gentlemen. Just a quick heads up. Part 2 of our video roundtable episode will drop on Tuesday. Actually, tomorrow, as you're hearing this today on Monday. Part 3 will be the following Tuesday. So do me a favor, patrons. Let me know what you think of this going forward. And you can always join our Patreon for free. And you always get a little sample of all of our content that we release on our Patreon website as well. So check that out if you want to see what it's all about. It's patreon.com/support Guardian Downcast if you want to help give back. Want to give a shout out to all our moderation team in our Discord community. Without these awesome people who donate their time for free, by the way, because they love the community and the people inside it, I would not be able to fully operate this Discord without these guys. So quick thank you to RNG Gator, Admiral Nips, Warcry, Jealous, Chubby Wizard, Mr. Monkey, Commando, Hades, Hammer Crasher 32, Brittany, Hayoka, the Scarlet KM, Ronan Red Lion, and also I would like to welcome our newest member of our moderation team in our Discord, and that would be Nico, aka Jersey. Welcome, sir, and thank you for giving back and helping out in our community. So if you have any questions when you join our Discord and need to know where to go or what to check out, just at moderation team, and someone will get back to you right away. Well, that's a wrap. Another episode in our collection. If you didn't listen to our show last week with the Scarlet KM, we had a really good show last week. Check that out. And for our listeners out there, we have 240 other episodes with interviews from gamers all over our community. So take a look at those, especially if you're just finding out about us. And if you like what you hear, hey, do us a favor. Tell a friend about us. Before we go, Mr. Brightside, I think someone you know sent in a message. And, yeah, it's Laz.
Oh, no. It's Laz.
It's Laz. So, yeah, he had something he wanted to say. So, by contract, I have to play his messages. So,
well,
otherwise he, won't give me leeway on my checks that I send him. So, anyway, Laz, what's going on, brother?
So, I just went through the process of recording a nice long speak pipe here. And apparently my device, my audio device here, decided, no, we don't want to send that one. Let's make you do another one. Oh, that's right, folks. My audio device talks to me, but only in my head. The doctors have questions. Anyways, you have a Mr. Brightside on. Wonderful individual. Wonderful PvPer to play with in Season 1 of Potato Thumb's podcast's little PvP league. I'm going to play with him again in Season 2. We're going to own it up, because that's what we do. But I'm more concerned about something else. I'm more concerned about the way that you called you called Agnes Edna. Thank you so much. All these years, people have been calling her Agnes. I've been calling her Agnes. Her business card says Edna, but Agnes just sounds more ferocious. It sounds more intimidating. It just works better. Call her whatever you would like. She'll respond to a lot of different things. It's just how she operates. She has informed me that we do not have a purchase order for Post-it notes, so I don't have too many notes for you guys this week, because that's the only way I space lawyer is with Post-it notes. Still waiting for their sponsorship. It would be nice if they would actually get back to me, but it turns out that it is very difficult to use space pigeons these days, since they don't make helmets for spacewalking or space flying for pigeons, so it's kind of hard for them to get point A to point B. But I do have a lot of legal notes that I will be writing this weekend when I go to Interstellar Staples. Hopefully they have some parking. They never really have parking. Terrible, terrible place. But I need Post-it notes. So once I do have my Post-it notes in hand, I will be making tons of notes about the various Discord members who have all sorts of various legal issues that I may or may not ever get to it strictly depends on how it plays into my golf schedule, as you know. Still waiting on some paper checks from you, Mr. Gator. Still waiting on some paper checks from Potato Thumbs Podcast. I'm also still waiting on some other form of payment from Mr. Elmer Fudd. I cannot disclose in this audio recording what sort of payment he was willing to offer, but let's just say it's not for some of your poor ears. Okay, you don't need to hear it. You don't need to understand how he pays. We all pay in our own ways.
Oh God!
Some of us with checks that bounce all the time. Anyways,
what?
So for the meantime, enjoy this leap day. I know most of your internal calendars are probably off. Mine certainly is. I accidentally went to the asteroid belt today. I was supposed to be there yesterday. And then I thought that March 1st was today. And then all sorts of other stuff was going on. And I just don't have time for it. But, next week is a different week. I'll have several names I need to mention. I will, of course, have a much more comprehensive way of roasting your guests. I currently, at this time, have nothing terrible to say about Mr. Brightside because his name is Mr. Brightside. You can't say negative things about Bright. It just doesn't make sense. Look it up. Otherwise, everyone have a great weekend, and I will see you next week for more space lawyering.
I can't argue with that logic. Yep.
Oh, can't.
Thank you, Laz.
That sounds legit.
Yeah, sounds legit. Thanks, Laz. Checks in the mail, buddy. Anyway, well, speaking of which, Mr. Brightside, thanks for coming on the show tonight, man. That was a lot of fun.
Not a problem. Yeah, it was definitely.
Yeah, I'm glad you accepted the invitation. You sound like a real interesting dude. I'm glad I was able to learn more about you today. So, thank you for that.
Oh, thank you for having me.
We'll have to catch up. I want to hear some more paintball stories and play some more Crucible on the road.
Oh, dude, I got some good ones.
Excellent. Well, where can people find you out there on the interwebs?
I have very little social media presence. Generally just hit. Yeah. No, I got nothing out there. I scroll TikTok and make some stupid comments, and that's about it. But I mean, generally, if you have my Discord handle, you have 100% access to where I am. So by all means, shoot me a message.
That is Mr. Brightside.
I'm usually
Discord. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely, absolutely hit me up. I'm generally the only places I inhabit on the internet are news websites, 3D printing, documentation, and Discord. So
very cool.
Pretty quiet on the internet for me. But you can find you find me in my home Discord. With the people I've been playing with for going on 25 years now.
Wow, outstanding.
Yeah, we go back. Yeah, a lot of us go back to, some of us go all the way back to playing some of the, I don't know if anybody remembers Grail Online back in 98, 2000. I played with some of these guys, and I've playing with them ever since. So
very nice.
That's the home on the internet now. I'm somewhat of an internet homebody. I don't go out on the party platforms anymore.
I got you, man. Excellent. Well, thanks again, man. Thanks again.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You can contact me on Twitter X, Todd the Gator. It's 2 Ds, GATR. I've got a YouTube channel spelled the same way, Todd the Gator. I have another podcast called the Destiny Help Desk. We just had our Crucible 2.0 episode out just a few days ago. So check that out. If you haven't followed yet on your podcast player, it's right there next to wherever you follow us on this podcast. So send me a follow on that and give us a review if you like what you're hearing too. That'll help more people find us too. We're a fairly young podcast over there. Also, you can find me in game, Todd the Gator. And I have my Bungie numbers on my profile in the Discord if you want to send me a friend request. And of course, you can join our clans as well if you want to play along with us. All right, before we go, we have a Scumdeath Corner tonight. I'm curious to see what's going on in the life of our uncle across the pond. So, Uncle Scumdeath, what's going on in the UK today, brother?
Hello, and welcome to Scumdeath's Corner. By the time you listen to this, On the Thursday after you listen to this would be my 50th birthday.
Ooh.
And I've got a gig, and it is with a band called Crowbar. And Crowbar is one of my top 5 favorite bands of all time. And how the fuck Warcrab have managed to get that gig, that support slot, I will never know. I've got a photograph of me and the singer on my 40th birthday. They played on my 40th birthday, and we went to watch them. So the Crowbar gave me a shout out on stage, my 40th, and I managed to get a photograph with the singer. But that was 10 years ago. So on Thursday, when you hear this, March the 7th, our band, Warcrab, will actually be supporting this band. We are playing with them. We got to take our drums and guitars and shit and go and just rock it out with these boys. We'll be backstage with them. Fucking, it's nuts. 10 years ago, on the dot, we were watching them going, yeah, that's amazing. But 10 years later, on my 50th fucking birthday, we are playing with one of my top 5 favorite bands of all time. I've been into this band for 30 years. I'm so buzzing. It's just the nuttiest thing. If I die on the 8th of fucking March, I couldn't give a fuck. This is the craziest thing ever. Oh, I absolutely love it. It's just, sometimes when we were playing with the band and I think, oh, where's this going? It's not going anywhere, but we've stuck with, I've stuck with it. It was my attitude, but I've stuck with it. And this is what comes out of it. Just, so March the 7th, 2024, Torquay. It's only down the road from Plymouth. It's a half-hour drive. Fucking, and I'm playing with one of my, it might as well be Iron Maiden. Metallica.
That's cool.
I don't know.
That's cool.
Saxon. Whatever, just some of the most amazing bands ever. A lot of you wouldn't know who Crowbar are, but you got to be in the genre to know them. And for me, to play with Crowbar, you must know that Uncle Scumdeath is buzzing his fucking tits off. I love it. Anyway, I'm 2:52 now, so Gator, I don't know how long I've got left, but I love you all and thank you, and I'll show you some pictures. Love you, mate.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Uncle Scumdeath. 50 years, man. That's awesome. Oh, good times, good times. Hey, brother, I definitely want to see some pictures, man. That sounds like a good night to me. I can't think of a better way to spend your birthday, man. That is awesome. Well, hey, everyone, remember as you're playing the Lightfall Season of the Wish, I know, it's still going. I know. Remember to take breaks. Get outside and touch grass. Look at that sky. Take a deep breath. Get some fresh air in those lungs, right? Panda?
Graphics suck out here.
Yeah. Hey, everyone, remember, we're Guardian Downcast. Your stories, your community, your destiny. Hey, and be good to your fellow Guardians in the Destinyverse.
Defeat is not surrender, Guardian.
Thank you all so very much for listening. And later, Guardian.
I got nothing. I got nothing else.
That's perfect. That's what I needed right there. Perfect. That's a wrap.
What they did was, while we were holding up the line in the back and causing chaos, they sent up a kid with, now, each team had a general, and that general was worth like 500 points in the tally or whatever. Uh-huh. And if you shot him with a purple-filled paintball, that would count double, because that's like a sniper assassination round.
Nice.
Well, We're holding them up. We've got them so distracted in the back because they think there's more of us than there are, that they get a kid to walk in with his gun on top of a case of water, because it's like, it was in the middle of July. It was like 90 something degrees.
Right.
So he brings in this case of water and sets it down on their table, picks his gun up and goes, special delivery, boom, drills the general.
Nice.
They just let him walk in. They didn't check his armband or anything.
God.
They were so distracted with our nonsense that they managed to drop this kid in, and we were like, did we get the assist on that? Like, what's up?
That is crazy, man.
Yeah, it was fun. That was just one of the nonsense things we did.
I would have loved to have been part of those big battles like that.
Oh, dude, 500 on 500 is not a joke.
Yeah.
But, like, what was cool about our team was that there was only, like, 16 of us. But what we would do is we would break out into, like, 3-4-man fire teams. Right?
Right.
And as we hit the field out there, we would just look for fucking, like, rental players and, like, kids that looked scared out of their minds.
Hey, it's gone past 3 minutes. Ah,
He found out my secret.
he
found out my secret, damn it.